Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. I came here to talk some boxing. With the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. My goblet's a little in my throat, but we're live. Second day in a row. Should be fun. I'm gonna get set up here real quickly, so give me just 1 second. But as you guys can see by the title, we're gonna talk about Joseph Parker and Dillian Whyte. So should be a fun hangout. We're gonna talk about Joseph Parker, Dillian Whyte, and then we're gonna talk about Manny Pacquiao, Lucas Matthysse. So it just both we're gonna break down both these fights, one hangout, and we'll cover some other boxing news after we get to that. So give me 1 second to get set up here. Let some people get in here. But if you are in here right now, just say something in the comments, do something. But give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Shout out to the two of you that are in here right now. Drop a comment down below. I make sure I'm set up over here before I get started, because I'm gonna start talking and I need to make sure that I'm good. All right, so we're gonna talk about Joseph Parker, Dillian Whyte first, because we spent so much time talking about Vladimir Klitschko and Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Not Vladimir Klitschko, he's long gone. But we spent so much time talking about Joshua Wilder because that's what a lot of you guys want to hear me talk about. But instead of talking about a fight that's not going to happen, let's talk about fights that are actually going to happen, and let's celebrate them, and let's get happy about them. Let's talk about them stylistically, just overall go through the whole matchup and whatnot. So we're going to talk about Parker, Dillian Whyte. Now, this fight's very interesting because you got two guys that are both, former Anthony Joshua opponents. Both these guys, at some point in their careers, like if we look at Dillian Whyte, the interesting thing with him right now is, he's been picking up some good wins. He's coming off of a very destructive win over Lucas Brown. So because he's coming off of the way he beat Lucas Brown, they say in boxing you're only as good as your last fight. So because of everybody's last image of him is him slumping Lucas Brown, I think the way people perceive Dillian Whyte is a lot higher than he really is. That's just my personal opinion. Joseph Parker, he's coming off of his first loss against Anthony Joshua, a fight in which I personally thought he fought a very intelligent fight. I thought he kind of was, in a way, he was robbed of being able to fight to his strengths, because every time he came in towards the middle parts, the middle rounds, when he was going to take the momentum, the referee would always break, and Parker couldn't seem to really impose himself the way he needed to beat Anthony Joshua. So I kind of felt like we got robbed of a good fight, and he got robbed of potentially beating Anthony Joshua just because he wasn't able to fight in the way he would have liked to. That's how I feel. But it's a fight where I look at both of them. A lot of people are giving Dillian Whyte a chance. A lot of people are saying he's going to beat Joseph Parker. I don't think he's going to beat Joseph Parker. I think Joseph Parker is a much more high quality fighter. I just think the perception of why this fight is so even has a lot to do with how both of the last fights played out. So I'm going to get into my reasons, my perspective, and why I think that this fight isn't as even as everybody says it is. We'll just go through the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters before we get to Pacquiao and Matthysse. So I did get one comment. One guy asked me, he said, Joe Joyce versus Pulev. Is that a fight that's happening? Did that get announced? Or are you asking me like a hypothetical matchup? Let me see. Joe Joyce. Before I get started, I want to see if anything happened with Joe Joyce. No, I don't see anything. Oh, so you're asking me as hypothetical. Well, I think it's a good fight. Joe Joyce was trying to fight Jerome Miller. That didn't happen. Jerome Miller was obviously slated to fight Pulev, and that's fell to the wayside. So it makes a lot of sense. Joe Joyce is showing the ambition to want to fight those top guys, those big names in the world of boxing. So I say, why not, man? It seems to be a good matchup, and Yeah, that's just my take on it. But let's get into Parker versus Dillian Whyte, man. I got my points right here on my phone. I'm gonna read off of them real quickly. Now, this like this fight right here is probably one of the best non-title fights you can probably make in the world of boxing right now in the heavyweight division. Both these guys, I think their styles mesh really well. They're similar in stature. Parker likes to throw flashy combinations, and he's very creative on the inside. Dillian Whyte comes to fight, and he really has gotten better in some areas. Although I will say I'm not really sure how much better you can say he really is because the guys are putting in front of him. But he's beating them and he's doing what he's doing when he's looking impressive. So you can't really fault him for that. Let's go through the strengths of Joseph Parker and his weaknesses, as well as Dillian Whyte going into this fight. So we'll start with Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker, strengths and weaknesses. We'll start with his strengths. Parker's strengths are simple. I have three of them right here in front of me. Parker's strengths are his hand speed, his reflexes, and his crafty ability. He has this crafty ability when he gets on the inside to change the angles and leverage his way into nice shots. And examples of this can be found in like the Carlos Takam fight, which was a very tough fight for him. That was probably like the first real tough fight he had in his career. And you'll notice in that fight, although he did get hit probably more than you want to see him get hit, the reason he was able to win the fight was because of his ability to change the angles on the inside, and he was doing some really nice body work to Carlos Takam. So go back and watch the fight if you don't know what I'm talking about. Weaknesses for Parker are as follows. His defense and lack of stamina. I would say those are probably the two biggest glaring weaknesses for Joseph Parker. And I'm going to use the Takam fight as an example again, but in a negative way. Takam, at the time he fought Parker, was like 35, 36. He was he was an old guy. Quality fighter, but an older fighter. And Parker being the younger guy, you would have not been able to tell who was the younger guy in that fight because Parker finished that fight very weak. He was huffing and puffing. And he's had a history of this in a lot of his fights of stamina problems. So just his stamina is not the most trustworthy in the world. And I would even say his defense, Parker, for all the things that he does well, because every now and then you'll watch Joseph Parker fight, you'll see a lot of pedestrian-like efforts in the rounds. But then every now and then you see something from Joseph Parker and you say, man, this guy's a damn good heavyweight. You just don't see enough of it to say, man, this guy is one of the top heavyweights. You don't see enough of it to say, man, this guy could be the top heavyweight in the world or anything like that. But you definitely see that the talent and the skills for him to stake his claim and really be solidify himself as a top 5 heavyweight. So, yeah, I would say just like the defense needs to improve. He's a reflex fighter, and sometimes it just works against him. So that's what it is. But that's Joseph Parker's weaknesses and strengths. Carlos Espinal, my main man, shout out to Carlos. He says, yo, just started. Yeah, man, I just started doing the hangout. Right now, as I'm talking, we're going through Joseph Parker versus Dillian Whyte because they got a big fight coming up this week. People wanted to hear me talk about this fight yesterday on yesterday's hangout, so I figured I'd talk about it a little more today. And then we're also going to go through Pacquiao Matthysse and what that means and all that stuff. So we'll go through that. We'll go through those two fights, and then we'll get into other boxing as well. So, yeah. So to recap, strengths for Joseph Parker are as follows: hand speed, reflexes, crafty ability to change angles on the inside. Weaknesses are defense and lack of stamina, which I think could definitely work against Dillian Whyte, because Dillian Whyte, getting into his strengths, his strengths are as follows. He does a really good job of probing with the jab. Probing meaning that, when he's moving around the ring, you'll see him kind of control his opponent's head by simply sticking his lead hand out there and either getting his opponent off balance or just keeping his opponent at bay. But he's been doing a lot more of that as his fights have gone on. So I would say that's one of his strengths, and it's something that allows him to find these crafty shots that he lands to hurt people. I would definitely say one thing I really think Dillian Whyte has going for him in this fight with Joseph Parker is the mentality. In Dillian Whyte, we have a guy that's very, very, he believes in himself. He believes in himself. He works hard. He puts the work in the gym. And because of that, you see him getting better, improving fight by fight. Now I think it's really going to be tested against a top quality heavyweight. And I would say also another strength of his is his improved fundamentals. So those are his strengths. Weaknesses are his composure, lack of elite power, and I would say inability to box from range. So you may be saying, well, Brandon, how can you say he doesn't have elite power? Look what he did to Lucas Brown. Well, you got to look at Dillian Whyte's career. who is the best opponent this man has ever stopped? Let's pull it up. We got box right in front of us. So he's 23-1, 17 KOs. Okay, and 1 loss. Obviously, we know that Anthony Joshua. You know, he's fought a couple notable names in his career. Now, the names that stick out the most are as follows. You know, he's fought guys like Lucas Brown, Robert Helenius, Derek Chisora, David Allen, and then before that, Anthony Joshua and a bunch of domestic fighters before him. But really, it's the David Allen fight, Derek Chisora, Robert Helenius. Now, he struggled with Chisora, who was a C-class fighter at the time. That was in late 2016. Struggled with him, got a split decision victory. I thought he lost that fight, but it was a close fight. You know, he struggled with Chisora, you know, beat Helenius, but didn't stop him, and then David Allen didn't stop him either. So with Whyte, he's never really stopped anybody with the name, really, outside of Lucas Brown. And Lucas Brown, I mean, no disrespect to Lucas Brown, but I mean, if we look at Lucas Brown, we can go through his resume real quickly. Brown, being that he's 20, he was 25-0. You know, this is a guy on Brown that really had not beaten anybody outside of Ruslan Chagayev and Jason Gavern and old James Toney. So, and if you look at Lucas Brown's skill set, you know, very basic skill set, just basic. Didn't really know how to deal with Whyte's probing of the jab. So, just with that, I would just say Dillian Whyte doesn't have the kind of power, I think, at least, to where you could say, man, that's a significant advantage he has over Parker. But it is something he does have. He does have power. He does have pop. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he doesn't have elite power. So that's that. I mentioned his weaknesses being his composure, his lack of elite power, and yeah. So with composure, right? He's someone that likes to fight, and being that he's someone that likes to fight, you know, you're finding a guy like Parker who tends to be more elusive, who likes to move a little bit more, and can throw these blistering fast combinations when he puts 3, 4, 5 punches together, right? Parker has stated already in the media that he wants to stand there and trade with Dillian Whyte, which I think is utterly stupid. I think it's stupid for him to do that. He can do that. He can do it in spots, but he needs to move and be smart and be himself. I just think I think these guys' strengths play into each other. I think their weaknesses play into each other. I think their styles going to mesh really well. And being that, you know, they're similar in stature because, you know, we got what I know Joseph Parker. Let's see, we got Dillian Whyte 6'4", and Parker is 6'4" himself, and Whyte has a slight reach advantage. So they're identical in terms of dimensions, in terms of height, and things of that nature. They're just different. That's why. So you know, you're not gonna have Parker trying to fight a bigger guy who he's not gonna be reaching up, and you're not gonna have them reaching down. So they're gonna be throwing punches at eye level, and you know, makes for a good fight, in my opinion. Now, when you look at this fight, you gotta understand what these two guys are right now in their careers. Not what they've been, or not what you think they'll become, but what they currently are in their careers. Dillian Whyte, at this point in his career, is a tough brawler with improving skills. Okay, he's a tough brawler with improving skills. He's a guy who comes to fight, who has been slowly but surely refining his boxing skills. And Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing have been doing a good job of putting guys in front of him who are tough, but not too tough. You know, that's the art of matchmaking. Parker, at this point, he's an elusive boxer with a granite chin, and a guy that's, you know, at this point in his career, you know, you could definitely say Parker is a seasoned professional, you know, fighting the likes of guys like, you know, Huey Fury, a guy like Anthony Joshua, fighting Andy Ruiz Jr., Alexander Dimitrenko, Carlos Takam. You know, he's been in there with some name fighters. So he's no longer a pup in terms of ring experience or anything like that. So he's a seasoned professional. And this has to be the fight for him. The way I look at this fight from the Parker perspective is this has to be the fight for him, where if you think, because, you know, we know Wilder and Joshua are the two best heavyweights in the world right now, and then it's just kind of everybody else at the moment. This has to be the fight for him where he sticks his flag in the ground and really makes it known to the public that I am one of the best heavyweights in the world outside of Joshua and Wilder at this moment. Because, you know, the verdict on Joseph Parker is that, you know, in his career, a lot of people still say, like, with Joseph Parker, you know, he lost to Anthony Joshua. The Huey Fury fight was terrible. The Andy Ruiz fight, you know, he got a gift. You know, he beat Takam, but you know he didn't look impressive. You know, he needs what Parker needs more in his career, like than ever, is an impressive performance. Not a good performance, but an impressive performance in a big fight. He's had big fights. He's won some important fights in his career, but he hasn't looked impressive in any of them. So what we need to see in this fight is the old Joseph Parker, the Joseph Parker that was getting everybody talking about fighting Anthony Joshua, the Joseph Parker that was getting co-signs from Larry Holmes and Evander Holyfield and guys like that. So, you know, it's a big fight for him, and a win here gets either him or Whyte into contention for Anthony Joshua fight down the road, a rematch. What I'll say is this. Again, I gotta reiterate this too. You know, Dillian Whyte, from my perspective, and this is only my perspective I'm giving you, so don't get mad at me. But you know, I think the only reason he's looked at as such a live dog is because of how both these fighters' last two fights played out. You know, you had Parker, who fought the best heavyweight in the world right now, which is Anthony Joshua, in a fight that was very lackluster, and he lost. He lost that fight. Okay, so he doesn't have the O anymore. There's not as much gloss over him as there once was, and now he has to rebuild his career back up into becoming getting a world title shot. So there's that. And then you had Dillian Whyte who slumped Lucas Brown. So what I'm saying is this: it's gonna be a good fight. I think it was a perfect fight to make for matchroom boxing for Eddie Hearn at this juncture, because you know in terms of excitement and styles, the styles are gonna match really well. Both these guys come to fight. They really do. And now that they're more similar in stature, I think the likelihood of us seeing kind of a boring fight like we saw in the Joshua fight, you know, is not as likely. And both these guys are going to come out with a point to prove, because this is definitely Dillian Whyte's biggest fight since the Joshua fight. And Parker just got done fighting Joshua, and he wants to make his presence felt in the UK. So it is what it is. It's going to do numbers. My main man Lance is here, so shout out to my boy Lance, and not Lance Stevenson, but my man Lance is in the chat. He said, yo, Whyte versus Parker will do good numbers. I think it's already sold out. I haven't checked to see if it's sold out, but, I mean, it's a fight at the O2 Arena. Dillian Whyte's built himself up into a big name. Parker just fought Joshua, so the UK, the British boxing public is very familiar with both fighters. And, you know Eddie Hearn's going to stack that undercard. I haven't even seen the undercard. I have seen the undercard. Eddie Hearn has, like, Kell Brook on the undercard, Katie Taylor's on the undercard. You know, he's going to stack the undercard with the usual suspects. So it'll be a fight. It'll be a card where, you know, it's going to do good numbers. So it is what it is. But my prediction for that fight is I got Joseph Parker stopping Dillian Whyte in the sixth. I won't say sixth. I'll say the 7th round. I think Joseph Parker is going to be able. I think the difference in this fight is that Joseph Parker, if you go from Taka fight to now, he's become a sharper fighter, you know, and he's learned the art. He's learned the art much, kind of like I said with Joshua, to a lesser extent. He's learned the subtle art of being able to just win rounds in different ways, because he's fought different styles. He's fought Taka, he's fought Fury, he's fought Dimitrenko, he's fought Joshua, he's fought guys with names, guys with different styles, and he's learned the subtle art of learning how to win rounds in different ways. And that skill is going to prove very vital to him, because even if Dillian Whyte puts this man in some sort of trouble, he's going to know how to get out of that situation. You see what I'm saying? So I think he's just a better fighter, the more skilled fighter. He's got a granite chin. You know, nobody can stop. This guy is not going to get knocked down. He's not going to get. I don't think he's going to get knocked down by Dillian Whyte. I don't think Dillian Whyte has that kind of power. And I mean, if worse comes to worse, he can get on the back foot and outbox Dillian Whyte, if worse comes to worse. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think what you're going to have here is you're going to have two guys who come to fight, two guys with a point to prove. And I think the guy who ultimately proves his point will be Joseph Parker. So let me know what you guys think. The 7 of you that are in here, do you think Joseph Parker, who do you think is one of the fights? Is it Dillian Whyte, Joseph Parker? Let me know why. I'm going to read these comments. Let's see. So my main man of Avatar, Sidhu, says Parker was expecting AJ to gas out. Yeah, he was. You know, Parker was expecting AJ to gas out, and unfortunately for Parker, that didn't happen because unfortunately, while Parker was throwing punches, there wasn't. I don't think he provided enough of a worry or enough significant shots to put AJ in any kind of trouble to make it to wear him down. And that's where the referee kind of not allowing him to fight on the inside and breaking up any sort of infighting kind of worked against him. So, yeah, that's that. Emmanuel Abiodun says, it is actually sold out at the O2. No more tickets are available. Okay, well, that's good news, man. I think it's good to see a fight in the UK headlined by someone that's not Anthony Joshua in the heavyweight division selling out. That's good. That's good for boxing. I just hope we get a good fight. I hope this doesn't go on being a dud. There's been so many big fights Joseph Parker's had where, like, I thought, man, this is going to be an exciting fight. And then he has a fight, and then it's not as exciting as you would expect. So hoping Joseph Parker delivers this time, because I really do like Joseph Parker. Zane, I don't know, Zane or Zan, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Zan Shermo said, sold out. I bought tickets. 20,000 tickets are gone. Okay, so shout out to you. Have a good time, man. Have a good time at the fights. Lance has Parker by majority decision. Zane Shermo says there's a few Kiwis in London as well. They were even out in force supporting him in Cardiff. Dillian's gonna work the body a lot more. Yeah, I can see that, and that's why I think the key for Parker is gonna be his movement. He said he wants to sit there and trade, and we know Whyte's gonna deliver some really, thunder like really hard body shots and try to wear him down, because he knows, and I know, that Parker has shown in a couple of fights that he don't finish them strong. So it really is an interesting fight. But I think I have a saying that I like to live my life by, and that's that the cream will always rise to the top. And I think that I think in this fight right here, the cream will rise to the top, and you'll see Joseph Parker. You'll see his skills, you'll see his speed, his combinations. Just the overall skill set of his is much better. Or not, I want to say much better, but it's better than Dillian Whyte's, and he'll get he'll win because of that. Whyte is gonna knock out Parker. I don't see it. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. But I mean, I will say this. I went back and I was watching I watched some clips from the Anthony Joshua fight, and then I watched some highlights from the Lucas Brown fight. He's learned what I think. When people say he's improved, I think what the people are seeing is that Dillian Whyte has learned how to get better leverage on his shots. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's learned, because if you watch the Joshua fight, he had Joshua hurt, and then this dude's flailing and swinging like this. As to when you watch the Lucas Brown fight, you see him, he's turning the shots, and they're real compact, and he's getting all his weight behind the shots, and because of that, it's having an effect on his opponents. And now we're gonna get the ultimate test, because Joseph Parker has one of the best chins in the division. He's been in tough fights. He's won tough fights, and I don't think he'll be too worried about anything Whyte has to offer. But I mean, we'll see. Whyte is improving fast. The body punches will take Parker away in the 7th. I don't doubt Parker has a great chin, but I have yet to see evidence of a granite chin. Got away from AJ with elusive movement, only ate a few power shots, if that. We'll go to points. Well, they always say in boxing, the best chins in boxing are the ones that don't get tested. So what I would say to you, Mr. SJS1690, what I would say is, if AJ was able to hit him flush hard enough for 12 rounds to put him in any real kind of trouble, then that's more of a testament to Parker and just his intelligence and his movement and things like that. Because Anthony Joshua has stopped everybody but Joseph Parker, and he's shown the ability that when he does hurt you, he can finish. So you had to give credit where credit is due. Parker didn't have to get tested in that fight because his movement was good enough to not get hurt by AJ. But I think in this fight, Parker will be more susceptible to get hit, because I think he's going to stand there and trade and come to fight. Because he's fighting a guy in Dillian Whyte who's more closer to him in stature. You see what I'm saying? I don't think he's not going to have to reach up and worry about a guy punching down on him. The punch are going to come straight rather than coming down, which is a lot different. Vision 117 says it's going to go to points. I can see that. Because Whyte doesn't have elite power like that. And I think you need elite power to stop Joseph Parker. That's how I feel about him personally. Well, if he's able to get a knockout over Joseph Parker, I mean, he's going to be in line for he's getting an AJ rematch, because the first fight with Anthony Joshua was so huge, and he's a personality. He's someone that brings a lot to the promotion. and it's in-house fight for Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, so I don't see why. He's already won. Eddie Hearn's already won a record and said if he's able to do that, that he's getting a rematch pretty much. So, yep. Carlos Espinal says, I have a feeling that this is going to be an ugly fight. I mean, we've seen so many ugly Joseph Parker fights. We've seen it. We saw it against Fury. We saw it against Ruiz. We've seen it against even Joshua. Although I would say Joshua's a bit more of a clean performance because there wasn't. Actually, no, that was an ugly performance too. Joshua, most of Parker's fights are ugly performances. Let's just call it what it is. What he's good at though is he knows how to nick rounds and just be that much better than his opponent, and that's something you can't take. That's a skill you can't take too lightly in boxing. My main man Duke Odin is in the chat. What's up, Duke? How you doing, man? What do you think about this fight, man? Joseph Parker, Dillian Whyte. That's what we're talking about right now. I think this fight has fight of the year potential on it. It could be a dud. It could be a dud, but I think it could be fight of the year. If they both do what they say they're gonna do, which is stand there and trade, I think it'd be a fight of the year. Because you got to think of it. Parker has hand speed, 4, 5, 6 punch combinations, and then Whyte, he's not as fast as Parker, but the way the dexterity he throws his combinations with, and like the leverage he gets now on his shots, he can really put you out with a shot. So I can see some really good exchanges happening in this fight, and that's what makes it so exciting for me as a boxing fan. And hopefully for you. EJ Craver says, "What's up, bro? It's late here in the UK. Just popped in, hit the like button. We'll give it a watch tomorrow. Keep up the good work." You know what, EJ? Shout out to you, man, and shout out to everybody in the UK. I get mad love in the UK. Hey, shout out to EJ. Gonna be a great fight, and I fancy him to trouble AJ in a rematch for sure. Whyte might win on points. Okay, so a lot of you guys are really buying into Dillian Whyte, and I'll say this, man, because I'll be honest with you. When the fight actually happened, I didn't really watch the fight Lucas Brown. It wasn't a fight that really interested me when it happened. But after going back and reviewing tape and watching some film on Dillian Whyte, I'll definitely say that his skills have improved. It's just, I think as well, the matchmaking has a little bit to do why his skills are improving. But that's boxing. If you're gonna build a fighter, you gotta, as a promoter and manager, you need to know the art of matchmaking. Yeah, but like you said, Duke, like you said, Lucas Brown is very basic. In his career, hold on, to Lucas Brown's box check real quick. Lucas Brown, I mean, he's 25-0 with 22 knockouts. Okay. The guy has made a career off of stopping fighters. He doesn't really have much boxing skills. He's very basic. He just knows how to fight, and that's really what it is. So it's different when you fight a guy like that as opposed to a guy like Parker, who, yeah, he can fight. He's shown the ability to throw these flashy, combinations and hurt you, but he's shown that he's elusive. He's shown that he's slick. He's shown the ability to evade shots, and it's just it's a different ballgame for Dillian Whyte. And I already venture to say, if we go through his resume, Dillian Whyte has fought Lucas Brown. I would venture to say, this is Joseph Parker. Now that I'm going back and looking at his resume, Joseph Parker is easily going to be the fastest fighter that Dillian Whyte has ever fought. He's going to be the most slickest fighter Dillian Whyte has ever fought. He's going to be the most elusive fighter Dillian Whyte has ever fought. And because of that, there's gonna be especially in those early rounds, there's gonna be some time early on in the early rounds where there's gonna be an adjustment period where Whyte's gonna have to be able to adjust to the speed, adjust to the angles, and things like that. And I don't think that you can really take that lightly if you're looking at this fight and who might win the fight. But I'm going with Joseph Parker. I think Parker's gonna stop Dillian Whyte. Probably like in the 9th, 10th round. So we'll go 9th round. Avatar Sidhu says Parker's got to come to fight. He's had some disappointing fights, and I agree. He's had a lot of disappointing fights. The Joshua fight was disappointing. The Ruiz fight was disappointing. The Huey Fury fight was disappointing. Parker's had a lot of disappointing performances. I would venture to say that in terms of pure excitement, the only fight he's ever had that was exciting and that he actually won was the Carlos Taka fight. The Carlos Taka fight, and that was in 2016. So he's in big need of a virtuoso, top level performance in this fight against Dillian Whyte. Arsenal Maniac, shout out to Arsenal. He said, if Whyte stops Parker, then Whyte is top 3 in the world. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that because Joshua and Wilder are 1 and 2. Fury's still working his way back up into the fold. Miller's not top. Miller's not there. So yeah, I think basically these two guys right here are fighting for that number 3 spot. But if Dillian Whyte really wants to make a proof point, if he beats Parker, fight Luis Ortiz after. No, because then you really cement yourself. Well, AD, shout out to AD. AD says that hopefully Joseph Parker doesn't run in the AJ fight and he trades blows with Dillian. Dillian fight has potential. Yeah, like in this fight, I think Joseph Parker is going to come to fight. I think you're going to see some legitimately great exchanges. The key for him is, one thing about Joseph Parker, fighters like him are fun to watch at times, but being the type of fighter Joseph Parker is in the heavyweight division is very dangerous because he's a reflex fighter, meaning that he's not fighting with a traditional high guard, nor is he fighting in the Philly shell or anything like that. His hands are down here and he's just filling it out. So he's believing that he'll be able to react to get out of the shot, bring his hand to parry, and he's basically just going off of reflexes, which is always dangerous in the heavyweight division because all it takes in the heavyweight division is that one shot, just that one shot to get you out of there, put you out. So that's why this fight to me is so interesting. Is a style of fight as both guys are. Arsenal Maniac says top 5 or top 5 at least. Well, I mean, Joshua, yeah, you can argue he's top 5 right now. Really, I would say he's no lower than 7 or 6. Yeah, Duke, I would have to agree with you. I would definitely say that with Parker, his game plan was very good. His game plan was very good. I don't know if you had a chance to watch the Joseph Parker Joshua fight, but there's a version on YouTube. It's in the arena. That's like a version where a guy is filming it from his seat in the stadium, and there's no commentary, anything like that. So because there's no commentary influencing your perception or whatnot, you can actually get a good sense of what Parker was trying to do. And it was a lot closer than people thought, man. And I think he was really, unfortunately, hampered by not being able to fight on the inside. But it was a great game plan. It just I believe he wasn't able to execute the final third of that game plan because of what happened with the referee. Parker is not a KO artist, though. Whyte kind of is. Well, that's true. What I will say is this. I just think that because of Parker's, I would say he's very crafty on the inside, and then his combination and his hand speed. If they do fight, I think he's going to get an accumulation stoppage. I doubt Parker will come to fight, though. He said he was going to war with AJ. Granted, the ref was awful, but there was no urgency in the latter rounds. Felt like he just wanted to survive. I really do hope I'm wrong, though. Yeah, it just seemed like with him in the latter rounds of the AJ fight, there was in the middle rounds, the referee clearly didn't allow him to fight with Anthony Joshua and work and do some infighting. And then as the fight progressed, he seemed discouraged. I think a lot of it was discouragement on his part, not being able to do what he game planned for. And once that happened, he was just discouraged and he was getting hit with AJ jabs. And Anthony Joshua, if you go back and watch, he was getting a lot of leverage to that lead foot, and he was able to land jab after jab after jab and nick the rounds and get the points victory. Yeah. I think he's coming to fight, but my prediction is simply that he's definitely going to get I think he's stopping Dillian Whyte. And I think this is a fight for Joseph Parker where, if he is the kind of fighter that I think he is, I still think, I look at Joseph Parker as the best heavyweight in the world currently, outside of Joshua and Wilder. And I just think he's better than everybody else. It's a matter of him fighting like it and having that belief, that mentality. So we'll see. All right, so we're gonna move on. That was my little take on the Parker Whyte fight. You know, people wanted me to talk about it. Anybody, if you have any thoughts about the Whyte Parker fight, continue to drop the comments on it, and I'll dialogue in between. But I wanted to talk about also this Manny Pacquiao Lucas Matthysse fight because it's very interesting to me. You know, this is a good fight, Matthysse, and it's a very interesting fight. And, you know, there's not a lot of buzz around it because the promotion has been very poor. But, you know, it's still Pacquiao. And I think, you know, he's still got a little bit left in the tank. I still rate him. I still think I would say he's a top 5 welterweight. I think he's the 5th best welterweight in the world. No lower than 6th. And he's fighting a guy who I believe is very dangerous, who's in Matthysse, who at 147 under Joel Diaz, you know, has been doing really well for himself. So let's get into the particulars of Pacquiao versus Lucas the Machine Matthysse. The fight is going to be for the WBA regular welterweight title, which I believe is the downgraded version of the title. So that basically just means you're the secondary champion in the division behind Keith Thurman, who I believe is still the super champion, but don't quote me on that one. Matthysse is coming off a victory over Tiwa Kurum. And this is Pacquiao's first fight since the Jeff Horn fight. So they're intersecting at very interesting places in their career. You got Pacquiao, who, you know, a lot of people look at him as just a washed-up fighter, saying he's nothing, he's got nothing left in the tank. And a lot of people, believe it or not, I've seen are picking Matthysse to win this fight. You know, Pacquiao. The question I would ask going into the fight of Pacquiao is, you know, what's the purpose of it all? What does beating Matthysse really get you? And we're gonna get into that later on. But let's just get into the particulars of this fight. Pacquiao is ranked number 6 on Ring Magazine. Matthysse ranked number 8 at 147. This is Matthyse's 3rd fight at 147. He's in his 2 previous fights, he's 2-0 with 2 KOs. He stopped Tiwa Kurum. And hold on, guys. My internet on my other computer went out. He stopped Tiwa Kurum, and then he stopped Emmanuel Taylor in his 2 previous fights at welterweight. So he's been getting stoppage victories and building his confidence up at the weight. Let's see, this fight for Pacquiao will be the 4th world champion he's fought in his last 5 fights. So, you know, obviously he's fought Jesse Vargas, Timothy Bradley, Floyd Mayweather, and Chris Algieri. Those are the world champions in his last 4 fights. And then he also fought Jeff Horn, who wasn't a champion at the time, but became one, obviously. So there was that. Now, it is worth noting, and we'll get into this later on, that actually, we'll get into it now, actually. This is Pacquiao's first fight of his career, first fight in a very long time without Freddie Roach. So that was something to look out for. A lot of people say Freddie Roach is an overrated trainer. I hear that from a lot of people in the boxing world, a lot of credible sources in the boxing world. And I don't know. I'm kind of just neutral on that. Like I never really thought Freddie Roach was the greatest trainer in the world because I've never seen him really build a fighter from the ground up. And I don't really hear. When he tells Pacquiao or any other fighter instructions in the corner, they're not like these game-changing instructions. But I still think, you know, you got to be somewhat competent of a trainer to lead a guy to all these world titles. So that's that. Okay, so what I'll say, what I'll say is this. What I'll definitely say is this. This fight, from the Matthysse perspective, this is your last chance at glory. You know, you got what what's his name? Joel Diaz as your trainer. You got with him. You had your 2 fights. You beat Kurum. You beat Emmanuel Taylor. Those were, you know, takeover opponents. You know, stay busy fights to get you confidence up. And now you got the big fight, and now you have to win the big fight. And it's been a while since, you know, Matthysse won a big fight. You know, he's lost a lot of his big fights. You know, you'd have to go back to the Provodnikov fight back in 2016 to name a fight that he won that was a big fight. So he's up against it against Pacquiao, man, because I think Pacquiao, regardless of the age and him being, 4 years older, Pacquiao is still faster than him. He's more skillful than Matthysse. Got better movement than Matthysse. Matthysse, what he's relying on in this fight is the ability to time Pacquiao, to hurt Pacquiao. And he's still a very powerful puncher. You know, the guy can still put your lights out. and he gets really good leverage on his shots. And Pacquiao is gonna have to not get caught with anything. And as you get older, your reflexes do slow down over time, and it's just a matter of for Pacquiao. I would say like Pacquiao is not, he hasn't been that fighter that throws 1,000 punches in a long time. So I think in terms of punch count and the amount of punches he's gonna need to throw to win this fight, I definitely think he's gonna have to throw somewhere around 500 to 650 punches to win this fight. Definitely, he's gonna have to throw that many punches to win this fight. Because Matthysse is gonna come to fight. He's always come to fight, and you're gonna need to give him something to be honest about. And Pacquiao's power at 147 has never been what it was at 140, and he's getting older with time. So I think he's gonna have to go the accumulation route. The accumulation route, hit him, touch him, and just keep those combinations coming. And then if the knockout comes, it comes. But just keep Matthysse with something to worry about. Because if you don't give him something to worry about, he'll find the right shot and he'll put your lights out. So he's gonna need to do that. What exactly would a win for Pacquiao do? I mean, what would a win over Matthysse do for Pacquiao? And the answer is simple. Okay, we know boxing is a business, and we know that for a while there's been a lot of talk over getting a fight between Pacquiao and Vasily Lomachenko sorted out. I think if he's able to go in there against Matthysse and actually go in there and be dominant, look impressive in the process. Which is going to be a very, very tough ask because Matthysse is no pushover. He's a quality fighter, capable of going in there and putting Pacquiao's lights out and putting an end to all of this madness. If he goes in there and whoops up on Matthysse the way I know he can, then Manny Pacquiao is going to be in line to fight Vasily Lomachenko. And that's going to be a massive, massive fight. That's a fight. That is the fight for Lomachenko that will take him from rising star to bona fide, star. Because, I mean, we're talking about two guys who are very similar. Manny Pacquiao, a guy that scaled 8 weight classes, winning world titles, and proven to be one of the best pound-for-pound fighters who ever lived in this sport's history. Then you got a little guy, Lomachenko, who was the greatest amateur of all time, who came right into the pros, and he hasn't even had 15 fights, and he's a world champion in 3 weight classes. So these guys are very much similar to each other. They go into the weight classes, they fight the biggest and best opponents, they beat them up and stop them. And it would almost be like Manny Pacquiao is fighting himself in many ways. And I think that makes for an interesting storyline. I think it'd be interesting to see because that to me, the way I look at that fight would be like a kind of a passing of the torch fight in many ways. And it would be interesting to see for me at least, because generally speaking, in those kind of fights, the old fighter is never able to beat the odds and beat the younger guy. But he gives a good account of himself, kind of like Klitschko Joshua. But if Pacquiao could somehow beat those odds and beat Vasily Lomachenko, I mean, I think you'd have to, if he was able to put Vasily Lomachenko on his resume, I think you have to put him in the top 10 best fighters who ever lived. And if he's not there already with the resume he's already put together. So, I mean, that fight to me is so interesting and so mouthwatering, and I really hope I want to see it happen. It's a fight that I really want to see happen. So. That's just my opinion. But he's got to go in there against Matthysse and do a job because that's what's at stake. What's at stake is a mega fight with Lomachenko, and that's it, man. I don't think he's gonna go. I don't think he's gonna fight Terrence Crawford. I don't think he's gonna fight Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman or Sean Porter or anybody like that. I think the end goal for Pacquiao is a Lomachenko fight, and I think that's what's at stake. But what he has at stake, what he can also get from this fight is give people a really good reminder that hey, I'm still Manny Pacquiao. I'm still, I'm not who I was 9 years ago, but I'm still a quality fighter, and I'm still better than most of these guys in the welterweight division. And my B game and my C game is better than most of these guys' A game. And you're gonna need to put some respect on my name because I'm Manny freaking Pacquiao. That's what he has to take in this fight. And either way, it's a good matchup, man. Like Matthysse has everything to fight for. Pacquiao has Pacquiao has motivation. He should have the motivation himself because he said he still loves boxing. So I think part of the reason this fight's happening is because he just has love for boxing. It's the love for boxing, and it's that it's that desire to still prove that hey, I'm still one of the top guys in the division, and I think it's still there for Pacquiao. So I as far as this fight goes, my prediction, I think Pacquiao's gonna get the W, man. Straight up. I think Pacquiao's gonna get the W. I don't see him stopping Matthysse. But I think he'll get I think he's gonna get a unanimous decision, something like 8-4, 9-3, like probably he'll win eight of the he'll win like 8 of the 12 rounds. I think Matthysse will hurt him at some point. Probably put him on his ass once, but I think Pacquiao rally, get to the cards, and score a unanimous decision. So that's my opinion on the fight. Let me get to this. Let me get to these comments right here for a second. Let's see. All right. So you guys in the comments are saying that. Hold on. You guys in the comments are saying, just a quick question. How about this new DAZN app? Is it a no contract online streaming platform, or would you pay for it in a month, which has jam-packed PvP fights? It will only cost $15. Well, from my understanding, Arsenal Maniac, from my understanding, from what I gathered, watching the official press conference when they announced this, they said that it was going to be a lot like Netflix or YouTube TV, which I also have, where you could pay a monthly subscription. And you can just cancel it at any time. So I'm assuming the way it works, like YouTube TV, you pay for it, you get it for a month, and you can cancel it whenever you want, and that's it. They won't charge you the next month. So whatever programming they put on the app, on the platform, is what you'll be getting for the $15. That's my understanding. That's what I've got. That's what I've gathered. So yeah. 80 says Huey is pretty whack, but Parker has definitely fought better boxers, but Dillian's been ducked because he improved enough. He proved enough and is tough and wants a fight every fight. I can see that, man. I mean, I can see that. Yeah, that was a very slow fight, Juru. I can definitely see that. Avatar says they're trying to make it like Netflix for the sport. And I think that's what it's going to become. It's going to be a way for, I believe, like Eddie Hearn. I think Eddie Hearn's ahead of the game because it's going to be a way for Eddie Hearn to have more of a control over the programming and how it's presented. You know, he stated in the DAZN press conference that he doesn't, when boxing does go live on this DAZN app, he doesn't want it to just be a 2-fight thing where you don't get to see the other fights on the card. Because usually, like if you watch an HBO or a PBC card, you get the co-main event and you get the main event, and that's really it. And maybe one undercard fight. But most of you guys, if you don't know this, there's generally 7 to 8 fights on any given card. You only get the 3 main ones. But what Eddie Hearn wants to do is he wants you guys to get the whole 8 fights or 9 fights or 7 fights. How many fights on the card? He wants the whole thing. He wants pre-fight coverage, all the coverage of all the fights, and then post-fight coverage. Just the way they do it in other sports, but just much more well organized, much more well put together. That's the understanding I got from the press conference. And if they're gonna go that route, I think that's a lot better because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like I've never understood why like HBO, for example, you'll have a fight between like Lucas Matthysse and Ruslan Provodnikov that comes on randomly at 10:45 at night, but then meanwhile before you just had It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or freaking The Sopranos on before. No, like actually do coverage before the fight. Actually give these fighters more time, more airtime, so the fans can get to know who they are, so you can build a profile and things like that. So yeah, you have to remember that Whyte has improved a lot. He didn't come from a boxing background, not much amateur background. He was a kickboxer, I believe. Yeah, that's a good point. I always forget that about Dillian Whyte. I know he didn't have a lot of amateur fights, but I always forget that I think he came from a kickboxing background. So good point. So he's kind of like Chris Algieri, but in heavyweight division. Because Chris Algieri, same thing, world-class kickboxer, but had a sharp and steep learning curve in the boxing game, and eventually was able to get himself a world title. The zone for $15 in a month, where you have many top cards and PBB, it's very cheap. No, well, if they're gonna put on the amount of fights, because the numbers were this. They said that Eddie Hearn said that with this new $1 billion war chest, he's going to get 32 dates on DAZN. So 32, he's going to have 32 cards on DAZN, 16 in America, 16 in the UK. So if you're paying $15 for that, let's say there's 12 months in a year. So if you're getting 2 to 3 high-level cards a month, and you're paying $15 for that, I mean, that's amazing. That is amazing. It is worth noting though that the price point for DAZN has not been confirmed yet, because it hasn't yet. Which we're still waiting for details on that. But that's the rumored price point. But if it is $15, I mean, shit, I'll be the first one to buy DAZN myself because I have YouTube TV, and YouTube TV by itself is $40, and then you get all like all the local channels, all the cable channels, and then like for Showtime, that's an additional $11. So you wind up paying like $57 for YouTube TV, and then sometimes Showtime don't even put on one card. Like I don't even think there's any one Showtime card this month. So that's that. Huey is actually pretty good. I don't particularly like him, but he can box and move well. Definitely lost to Parker, though, way too inactive on a punch count and was counting on the robbery. Yeah, that was a bad fight. I'd rather not even talk about the fight again. Arsenal Maniac says, just one pay-per-view card will cost you way more than that. But getting the whole month of boxing plus tons of other sports, not too bad. Yeah, and what I've also, if you didn't know, Arsenal Maniac, DAZN, they actually acquired the television rights, the U.S. television rights to the World Boxing Super Series. So the only way in America, outside of streaming and going to VipBox and things like that, to watch this fight in HD, high quality, high definition, is to get it on DAZN. So you're going to be getting the Eddie Hearn cards, and you're going to be getting the World Boxing Super Series. So keep that in mind. And then they also said that at the official DAZN press conference when they announced it, that they were planning all kinds of original boxing programming. Not for fights, but I'm saying the boxing shows for the platform. So that's what was said, and we just have to wait to see how it all develops. Pac-Man is too old is what we'll be saying after the Matthysse fight. Well, if he is too old, he's too old, you know. But hey, you gotta at least admire him for still having that ambition to go out there and compete against top level guys. There's guys right now who are in their primes who won't fight the amount of quality opponents that Pacquiao has been fighting back to back. So you gotta give him his credit. Pacquiao won't fight Loma, more like Amir Khan. I'm glad you brought that up, AD, because it is also worth noting with Manny Pacquiao and Matthysse that Eddie Hearn has been talking to the WBA about making the Amir Khan Samuel Vargas fight a title eliminator for Pacquiao Matthysse. So basically, if Pacquiao's able to do what I think he's going to do against Matthysse and win, and Khan does what he's going to do, Eddie Hearn trying to set up a situation where Amir Khan can just get a fight with Manny Pacquiao, which I think is, you know, the fight itself will be entertaining, but the way he's going to get it is BS, because he fought for LaGreco. Now he's fighting Vargas, which is a slight step up from LaGreco. And I mean, it's just bad. It's just bad. But I mean, hey, if they fight, fair play. I'll watch the fight. It'll be exciting. You know, Manny Pacquiao probably spark Amir Khan. Duke Odin says, if you're a box fan, why would you not want the zone to work? That's what I'm saying, right? People have such a hatred and a vendetta towards Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua, and Matchroom Boxing that they're going to hate on something that could actually be the best thing to ever happen to American boxing fans, which is this platform where, yes, you're going to get other sports on it, but at the same time, you're going to get loads of boxing content. I mean, there is not a platform that I know of, because I have YouTube TV and I had ESPN Plus for a month. You know, there's not any platform that I know of that I can go out right now and purchase with my own money that's going to give you the amount of boxing content that Eddie Hearn and DAZN have promised. Now, whether they're not to deliver on that is a completely different subject. But, you know, there's already 16 American dates that they said they have, 16 UK shows that they're going to have. DAZN has acquired the rights to the World Boxing Super Series, which is going to be what like another what? 5 to 10. I don't know how many, but it's gonna be another couple of high quality fights. So you have all of that plus all the original boxing content that they're probably working on behind the scenes right now that they talked about at the press conference. So that's a lot to take in. If for $15, I mean, shit, sign me up. I agree with you, Avatar. Or Avatar, like Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn does do pretty good undercards most of the time. Sometimes Eddie Hearn undercards are better than the actual main events. SJS1690 says, I hope Dillian Whyte wins this, man. The WBC basically slapped him in the face with the whole not a final limiter situation with Brazil Molina. So sad Molina almost had a third crack at a world title. You know, I completely forgot about that, and you're right. So, I mean, if he does win, man, you know, good vindication for him. True School, the Texan, shout out to the Texan. He was on here yesterday. The Texan says, True School, I think this DAZN app will succeed because of net neutrality being cut, which will block all illegal streaming sites in America. Yeah, if that's the case, then it's going to succeed. Even if it didn't, even if the net neutrality wasn't a thing, I believe it would still succeed just because of the fact that you're going to have 32 boxing cards guaranteed just from Eddie Hearn alone. Then you're getting the World Boxing Super Series. And then you're getting probably more original boxing content on top of that. So that right there is enough for me to fork out $15 because I fork out more for YouTube TV. And I at best, if it's a great month, at best, I get to watch maybe 4 or 5 cards a month. No, not even like 3 cards a month. I might get 2 Showtime cards and maybe like 1 ESPN on Golden Boy card, but that's really it. So once they launch, man, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. I'm gonna see what it's about. I'll give it a chance and see what it's about. Because from everything I've seen, from everything that I know, it looks like it's worth $15 to $20, and I pay more for that for YouTube TV. So, hey, my dad's here. What's up? What's up, Dad? Shout out to my dad. Let's see. Ashley Williams says, it's great for boxing for all of us. I think it is great for boxing. And one reason why I think that the DAZN platform is going to be good for boxing is because of, you know, with Eddie Hearn being here in America and having that money to spend, you know, he's going to be able to make more fights, sign more fighters. I think that's going to force the other promoters, you know, if they're going to have fights in house that they want to delay, they can't delay them as much because Eddie Hearn's going to be on his grind, putting on show after show after show here in America. So it's in their best interest to do what they can to put on the best shows they can to keep their business going. What's up, Iron Kong 26? Shout out to you, man. How you doing? Right now we're talking about Eddie Hearn and the DAZN platform, and we're talking about that. And we talked about Pacquiao with Matthysse earlier. We talked about Whyte versus Parker, all that good stuff. Ashley Williams said, regardless, I'll in boxing right now. I've been a fan for 25 years, and I'm excited for the next 2 years. Yeah, I'm very excited for the next 2 years because I feel like with all this stuff going on, you know, I think it's good for take a guy like me, for example. I cover boxing, you know, I think it's good for me because, you know, you're 32 cards, you know, 60 with 16 Eddie Hearn cards here in America. I'm hoping to get out to a couple of them myself, maybe connect with Eddie Hearn, build up a good rapport with him, and get him here on the channel a lot more frequently, and just go to more shows, man. There's gonna be more shows here, which means more work for True School Sports, more opportunities to do stuff in the boxing world, and you know, just build my channel up. And you know, I'm trying to build my channel up to the point one day where I can take a flight to the UK because I want to go visit the UK one of these days. Iron Kong says, does Shannon Briggs still train at the Heavyweight Factory? Iron Kong, I'll be honest with you, I haven't gone to the Heavyweight Factory in 2 months, but I haven't. I mean, from my knowledge, from everybody I know there, I don't think he trains there anymore. I think he just trains at his house. You know what? It's funny. I'm actually gonna read you guys. So I got an article in front of me. You know what? Actually, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up right now. Let me pull this up right now. I'll send it to myself. I got an article in front of me right now that details the World Boxing Super Series deal that they formally announced today with DAZN. So we'll get into that. I'll screen share with you guys so I can read it. Give me 1 second. Okay. Shannon Briggs, let's go, champ. I like Shannon Briggs, man. Shout out to Shannon Briggs. I haven't seen Shannon Briggs. Last time I interviewed him was November of 2016. I haven't seen him since a last interview, which is in late 2016. So hopefully I see Shannon soon, because he's a good dude. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm getting this. Ruben Crespo, what's up, man? How you doing? How you doing, Ruben? Shout out to Ruben. Shout out to Ruben for the $2 super chat. Big ups, my man Ruben. Hey, any of you here, by the way, I mean, I ain't gonna beg, but just it's worth noting every time I get one of these. If you want, go and click super chat if you want to support the channel. Okay, so I got this World Boxing Super Series article pulled up in front of me right now. We're gonna go to screen share, guys. So we're gonna take my beautiful face off the camera for a second, and we're gonna go to screen share. Go to screen share. Okay. Send to everyone, and boom, here we are. Screen share. Okay, so this is the article. Is the official article to the agreement for the World Boxing Super Series. So we'll go through and read it and just take in what it is this means for DAZN and just this extra layer of just like I guess programming that they're gonna have there. So here's what it says. It says I quote, multi-million-dollar deal reached. Streaming giant the huge interest in the World Boxing Super Series from the U.S. boxing fans. Millions will now be able to enjoy the action of world-class boxing and the quest for the Muhammad Ali Trophy, the greatest prize in boxing. The details. So here's the details. This is the meat and potatoes of everything. The details. DAZN, the world's largest dedicated live sports streaming service, will exclusively bring U.S. fight fans all 15 fight nights of the World Boxing Super Series, featuring 21 matchups across 3 tournaments promoted by Camosa AG. Season 2 will begin September 2018, featuring 3 divisions: bantamweight, super lightweight, and to be announced. The 3-year deal will include shoulder programming such as features on fighters, select matchups that will be available on demand on DAZN. DAZN will announce its official launch date and pricing this summer. James Rushton, DAZN CEO, as a platform built for the fans. James Rushton, DAZN CEO, says, I quote, "As a platform built for the fans, DAZN has been mining boxing chats and forums to see how we can bring immediate value to the community. It became obvious that Americans felt left out of the terrific action and thrilling competition on display at the World Boxing Super Series. To end, we're happy to announce that we'll stream every fight of all 3 tournaments. Keep an eye out for more announcements soon. This is just the beginning." So interesting stuff going on between DAZN and the World Boxing Super Series. So now that I have an exact number, so now let's lay it all out for you guys. Let's lay it all out for you guys. So you're gonna get 16 American dates from DAZN, from Eddie Hearn and Match Boxing USA. Right? I don't know how much of the UK shows will be on DAZN, but I'm assuming if Eddie Hearn is partnered with them and they gave him $1 billion, that it should be all of them. So let's just say there's gonna be 32 boxing cards from the time DAZN apps, from the time DAZN launches to whenever. So you're gonna have that. So 32 cards from Eddie Hearn. Then you're gonna get an additional the bantamweight tournament, which features the likes of Nayo Inoue, Ryan Burnett, Emmanuel Rodriguez, and Zolani Tate fighting for being the undisputed champion of the bantamweight division. Then you're gonna have the 140-pound tournament with the likes of Regis Prograis, the likes of Josh Taylor, Ivan Barancek, guys like that. And then they're gonna announce an additional weight class. So we're talking about that's 47 boxing cards right there off rip. 47 boxing cards. That's a lot of boxing, and that's not even factoring in any program they might do in between all those fights. So I mean, so far from the DAZN and Eddie Hearn and Richard Shea from the World Boxing Super Series, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Like literally, the only way that they're gonna unsell me on this on this app is if I buy the app and it just turns out to be a shitty app. The season 2 of the World Boxing Super Series will begin in September 2018. So we're only 2 months from. Does it? Hold on. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. Let me see. Check. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. If it fades in and out. I want to make sure my audio is good. Check. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. My audio good? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments, guys. My audio is good. In and out. I want to make sure my audio is good. Check. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. My audio good? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments, guys. My audio is good. In and out. I want to make sure my audio is good. Check. I don't know why it's doing that. Hold on. My audio good? All right, that's good. All right. All right. So, yeah, now that the audio is good, let's get back to talking about the World Boxing Super Series. So right now, the way it looks like to me, right now is that there's gonna be 47 boxing cards. 47 boxing cards. That is a lot of boxing. A lot of us were very hopeful when PBC and now him when he had that World Chest of Money, that we would get a lot of boxing. We have got our fair share of quality matchups, but nowhere do I know. There's no platform that's built specifically for boxing for fans. There's HBO and Showtime that occasionally show boxing, but they're not boxing platforms. This seems like it's going to be, they're going to have other sports on the zone too. Like I know they're going to have like the English Premier League from what I heard and soccer, but they're going to have boxing and exclusive boxing programming. And that's something that, as far as I'm concerned, is okay. All right, SJS. But yeah, I don't know any platform that's going to offer us that amount of high quality boxing along with just programming for the sport. So I'm behind it. And you know what? While we're here, let's see. Let's go. Let's go on the official DAZN website to see if there's any new updates. Let's see, because I want to see when I can buy this. And I guess once DAZN actually allows you to start purchasing the app or the platform or the streaming service, and you can actually use it, I'm gonna buy it like the first day it comes out, and I'm gonna let you guys know about it after like a day or two using it, and that'll be a video. So stay tuned for that when it does happen. Okay, let's see. DAZN.com. Watch DAZN. So this is their website. Watch fights live, MMA, boxing, and more. We are DAZN, the new home of fight sports. We want to take boxing and MMA to a new level, again, giving you unparalleled. Wow, so they're doing MMA as well. That's crazy. Crazy. Frequently asked questions, mobile tablets. So right now it looks like on the website, it looks like you can't really buy anything right now. Let's see. What can I watch on the Zone? So as you can see right here, they have a frequently asked question. It says, what can I watch on the Zone? So it says the following. I'll highlight it for you guys. It says, the Zone will offer the following: Bellator MMA. So for any of you guys who are also MMA fans, I'm not an MMA fan, but they're gonna have 22 Bellator MMA cards a year, along with 32 Matchroom boxing cards a year. So if you're just a fan of combat sports, that's right there off rip. 55. Actually, no, 55. So 55 plus. That's 70. That's 70 cards a year. That's gonna be 70 cards of combat sports. 22 Bellator MMA, 32 Matchroom boxing cards, and then an additional 15 World Boxing Super Series or 69 cards actually, because 32 plus 22 is what? 54 plus 15. So yeah, 69 combat sports cards a year. 47 of them being boxing related. So I mean, that's a lot, right? That's a lot of bang for your buck right there. What it says right here: what's the best way to view the Zone? It says you can view the Zone on any compatible whatever. Okay, where is the Zone available? The Zone is currently available in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Canada, and Japan, and is coming soon to the United States. Register your email address above, and we will be sure to let you know where the Zone plans to launch next. So there's that. Okay. What is the Zone? Okay, that's really it. It's still their website right now isn't a whole lot. You can't really do anything right now. You can't really buy anything. But I guess, you know what? Let me see something quickly. I guess while I'm here, let's see. We're gonna sign up for the. I want to sign up for the email address. You know what? F it. We're gonna sign up for the official alerts. I want to know when I can buy this damn app, so that way before you guys even buy it, I can buy it and let you guys know know for myself. Because I mean, there's gonna be 47 boxing cards on there. I'm gonna need to have it to cover the fights. Okay, so there's that. All right, so we're signed up, man. Got my email submitted. What do you mean? What do you mean? How will it be the Zone app? Because I'm buying that, man. All you had to tell me was 32 Matchroom boxing cards, and I would have been involved. I would have been on board. But now that you added a 15 additional World Boxing Super Series, shit, I'm on board. Ruben Crespo asks, how much will it cost? We don't know yet, Ruben. Right now, all we're going off of is rumors and hearsay because people are just going off of how much it costs in other countries, and they're saying, okay, well, this is how much it's going to cost in America. So we don't know how much it's going to cost as of yet, but they're saying that they're going to announce that sometime this summer. So I don't know, Ruben, but everybody's saying $15, $20. I don't know. But once I do know, you'll probably see a video about it. So just, you know, be on the lookout for that. My dad said one thing that makes the fights difficult to make is when fighters are signed with a certain pay-per-view channels. For example, Mikey Garcia is on Showtime and Gennady Golovkin is on HBO Boxing. Yeah, that's throughout the course of boxing history, that has been like one of the biggest reasons why big fights don't happen. It's the reason why Mayweather Pacquiao took so long to make. It's the reason why Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson took so long to make. It's the reason why Kovalev Stevenson never happened. You know, it was a big deal. So, yeah. Texan said, and like I said before, if that net neutrality act gets cut, the sports app industries will be booming. Watch. And yeah, and I'm sure promoters know this, and they know that it's big. It's big. That could be a big avenue for them. And for years, even before net neutrality, you know, that this was something that many people in the boxing world in the know for the last 3 years, had been talking about. Hey, boxing's gonna go more towards streaming. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that. You know, just today, my dad mentioned it earlier. Main events in Golden Boy, I believe. I think it was Main Events or Golden Boy or whatever. I'm gonna look it up actually on my Instagram page. By the way, if you guys haven't subscribed, you know, let's go over here. Look. Shameless plug. We're gonna go on the official True School Sports Instagram page because that's why I saw this earlier. So this is the True School Sports Instagram page. If you're not following if you're on Instagram and you're not following TSS on Instagram, go follow it. My dad's been running it actually. I don't even run it, but I do post there occasionally. So shout out to my dad. He's been joining the Instagram page. But about to close in on 1,000 followers, so go help me get the number up. Right here, too, this is also some news from today. Golden Boy Promotions partners with Facebook to bring live boxing for free to the world. Main Events to partner in series. So basically, Main Events and Kathy Duva are partnering with Golden Boy, and they're gonna be streaming fights on Facebook. So that's pretty good. And that on a lesser note, that's another announcement. So we're just getting more boxing, and I think the DAZN what the DAZN is gonna do particularly for boxing here in America, like I said earlier, is just bring some much needed healthy competition to the likes of Top Rank, Al Heyman, PBC, Main Events, Golden Boy, guys like those people. Maybe a silly question, but is the DAZN mandatory for UK or will Sky broadcast? Thought I heard Sky get some fights or only UK cards, maybe. To be honest, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out myself because I know that Eddie Hearn has a deal, or he had a deal with Sky Sports to televise matchroom fights. So I don't know if all matchroom fights are going to go to the DAZN or if it's just going to be 32 dates and then Eddie Hearn's still going to maintain the relationship with Sky. I don't know how that's going to work. So I really couldn't even tell you. Everybody's all excited in the comments because my dad is here. Okay, all right. So that's good to know. So Bob, according to Truth Hurts, they're saying that the DAZN isn't available in the UK, and I think that goes in line with their website because let's see, their website says that it's available. Yeah, see, the DAZN is not even available in the UK, so that makes sense. So yeah, there's still going to be fights on Sky Sports. But yeah, shameless plug. Go follow True School Sports on Instagram if you haven't already. Let's go to some boxing news while we're sitting here talking because it's 8:16. Go to some boxing news. All right, so we got let's go over here. Duke Odin said, "Let's get some Henny, OG." That's funny. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard about this right here. This is some interesting news. So, Adonis Stevenson versus Alexander Vosdik eyed for November the 3rd. Here's what it says in the comment. Here's what it says in the article. Promoter Yvonne Michelle of Gym, who promote WBC light heavyweight champion Adonis Stevenson, came up as a winner during the mandatory purse bid, which was ordered by the WBC. Michelle secured the promotional rights for his boxer's mandatory defense against WBC interim champion Alexander Vosdik of Ukraine. Jim's bid is $2.1 million, had beat out $1.6 million, submitted by Top Rank, who handled Vosdik. 65% will go. 65% of the winning bid will go to Stevenson. And yeah, so it looks like this fight is being eyed for November 3rd. And let me see where. In Canada. So we might actually get a chance to see Vosdik fight, or I should say Stevenson fight someone who's a top name in the division. And, Stevenson's coming off fight against Badou Jack that where towards the end he looked very weak, fragile. And it was a fight where it really was, they ruled it a draw, and I think that was actually a fair result. So Vozdik's going to be a really good fight for him. I would even say a step up from Badou Jack because Vosdik, hell of a fighter, man. Long, rangy, dangerous boxer, puncher. He gets you out of there at the drop of a hat. So this fight right here might finally end this long ass title reign of Adonis Stevenson. Who do you guys got in that fight? Who you guys got in that fight? Ruben Crespo asked, "Are there any fights this week?" Well, today's Monday, right? So yeah, today's Monday. Yeah, there are fights this week, but nothing big. No big fights. Go over here. Look, boxing calendar. Wait, no, that's not it. Hold on. Boxing. schedule. Here you go, boxing schedule. So we got Oscar Nergerte's fighting. Shumanov's fighting. Wow, shout out to Shumanov. And then, okay, so July 7th, Jose Ramirez is fighting. So, let's go see who's on that card. So we got Jose Ramirez fighting Danny O'Connor. That's going to be a fight in Fresno for Jose Ramirez. Let's see. Go over here. Bilal Hussein says, just discovered this channel and it's refreshingly sane. Respect, bro. Yo, shout out to you, Bilal. If you're not subscribed already, go do that already. Go do that. I try to keep it 100 here, and I'm glad that people out there are appreciating what I'm putting out there because, I really do love the sport, and I'm trying to. I want my channel to be a good ambassador for the sport. You see what I'm saying? So thank you for Bilal, and much love and God bless to you. Ruben Crespo said, "Let's go, champ, Superman." So Ruben Crespo seems to really fancy Adonis Stevenson, but. Here's Jose Ramirez. So 22-0. He's coming off that win against Amir Imam. Win over Mike Reed and Amir Imam. He's fighting Danny O'Connor, who I don't really know a lot about. I do remember a couple years ago, Danny O'Connor was supposed to fight Paulie Malignaggi, and he pulled out. Yeah, Ruben, you might remember Danny O'Connor from when he fought. He was scheduled to fight Paulie Malignaggi a couple years ago, and he pulled out. Let's see. He fought Gabriel Bracero. So he fought little Tito Bracero. And Lowell, wow, he fought the Lowell Auditorium. That's crazy. I used to go by there all the time. Fought Vivian Harris. Lost to Vivian Harris. So he's a solid fighter. Domestic American fighter from Massachusetts. He's an opponent being brought in to lose for Jose Ramirez to look good. So that much we know. They're going to be fighting at the same arena. So let's go to that card. This is the only fight of note that's really happening this week. And this will be on ESPN, I'm assuming. And if not ESPN, ESPN Plus. Let's see. It's on ESPN. So this will be on regular ESPN. For those of you who are wondering, this will be on at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, ESPN. So be on the lookout for that. But let's go to the card. So we're going to go to event. Yeah, see, that's why you know. So this is the card. This is the card. So far the only fights that have been approved so far are is this not regular fight Bradley? Let's see. No, it's not. Okay. So far we have Jose Ramirez versus Danny O'Connor. That's the main event. Then you're gonna have Andy Vences, who's a good featherweight fighter. He'll be fighting a guy named Frank De Alba, who I'm not really familiar with. You're going to have Kavaluskis, who I know my main man who doesn't make no videos no more. Thunderdome Boxing Talk used to always hype up with Kavaluskis. Let's see, Kavaluskis. I'll read about this Kavaluskis guy. They were saying that this guy's going to beat the crap out of Terrence Crawford and all this stuff. See, Kavaluskis fought David Avanesian. That's the only name I recognize. It's David Avanesian. And he was a Olympian. Okay, so he's Olympian. So clearly he's got to have some skills to be an Olympian, and he has a deep amateur pedigree. Been in all kinds of world championship games and whatnot. So he'll be on the card. But let's see who else on that card. Also on the card, you're gonna have. Wow, it's a good fight. Andy Ruiz versus Kevin Johnson. This right here should be a good fight because Kevin Johnson, you guys may know Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson, tough fighter. Anthony Joshua fought him years ago, but this guy has always been a really, really tough fighter. Not just tough gatekeeper kind of a guy. And this looks like the fight that if you're Andy Ruiz, if this gets approved, which it should be, if it gets approved, you're gonna go on to work your way back up in the heavyweight division. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that if that's on TV. You're also gonna have Gabriel Flores and some names, but no fights on this card really scream competitive fights. These all seem to be just kind of showcase fights, but we'll see, man. We'll definitely see. But that's really the only major boxing card on this week, and then Regis Prograis fights the following week, and we'll be talking about that as well. But that's really it. Which Andy are you talking about? You got Andy Vences, who's 20-0-1, and you got Andy Ruiz, who's 30 wins, 1 loss, and no draws. So which Andy are you talking about, Ruben? His only loss was to Parker too. You know, Andy Ruiz was a good fighter, man. Probably an underrated fighter at heavyweight. You know, let's go through the resume a little bit. Let's see. He's beat Sergey Liakovic towards the end of Liakovic's career. He beat Rafael Zumbano Love, who's a decent little gatekeeper. He beat Ray Austin, another tough journeyman type of fighter. He fought so this guy right here, Josh Gormley. This guy right here, Josh Gormley, Josh Dempsey. He actually trains fighters in Miami at the 5th Street Gym, and I'm pretty good friends with him. So shout out to Josh Dempsey. Andy fought him, beat him, and my boy Josh Dempsey spoke very glowingly of him, and said that this guy is a very good fighter. You know, just pretty much bigged him up. Yeah, so that's what's going on right now. That's that card. Not really the most intriguing card in the world, but I'm gonna watch it because you know it's boxing. But by the way, last chance plug. Go follow True School Sports on Instagram if you haven't already. I'll be posting some interview clips on there soon. I got 3 followers. Shout out to you guys who followed. But let's see. Let's go through the boxing news. We went on this is boxing scene. Anthony Mundine saying that he's going to stop Jeff Horn quicker than Terrence Crawford did. Oh, yeah, for those of you who don't know, Jeff Horn and Anthony Mundine are in negotiations for a big domestic Australian fight. That'll probably be like the biggest domestic Australian fight there is ever, because Jeff Horn made a big name after beating Pacquiao, and then he fought Crawford. Mundine's been a world champion and been around the sport for a long time, so it'd be a really good fight for the Australian fans. You know, my boy NBT Boxing, big shout out to him. Go subscribe to my man NBT Boxing. I know he would love that fight. But here's what it says. It says former world champion Anthony Mundine, 43-year-old, is expected to catapult himself into a huge fight should he defeat fellow former champion Jeff Horn in a big domestic showdown. It was recently reported that Mundine split from his longtime manager, Coder Nazir, after more than 20 years of working together. It appears Nazir had advised Mundine to walk away from boxing. Mundine is attempting to finalize the deal to fight Horn in November, something Nazir wanted him to avoid. Coder wanted me to retire, Mundine said to the Daily Telegraph. I wanted someone who still believed in me. The fight will catapult me back onto the world stage. I'll get a fight in America if I beat Jeff. I don't want to just beat him. I want to make a statement. I want to stop him in the first 6 rounds than Terrence Crawford did. You have no idea how good I'm feeling at this moment. I'm pumped, bro. He said, this is about me winning and fighting in America. I don't care where I fight him as long as it's in a square ring. So he's really trying to get this Jeff Horn fight. And I think, you know, Mundine, let's see. I don't even know. I'm not going to say I know about Anthony Mundine's career like that. Let's freaking go to his box rec. What is box rec? I know he hasn't been winning recently. That's what I do know. He hasn't beat anybody in a long, long time. And I know he's 43 years old. Let's go. Let's see. Anthony Mundine. So he is, in his last 5 fights, Anthony Mundine is 2-3, and he's been stopped once. So he has a loss against Joshua Clottey, a stoppage loss to Charles Hatley. He lost to a guy named Danny Green, and he lost a split decision to Sergey Rabichenko, who Kell Brooks stopped in like 2 rounds. So clearly Mundine is a far cry. He's a far cry from, you know, the days of old when he was, you know, somewhat relevant in boxing. He's far from the days of beating Shane Mosley and things like that. So, you know, hey, for fair play to him. He wants to make the fight, go ahead and do it. But that's the news there. Let's see what other news is there. There's well, that's it, man. Joe Smith got a win recently, and he's trying to fight Sergey Kovalev in the fall. Logan Yoon, shout out to Logan Yoon. This fight will actually be taking place in my hometown. So For those of you who don't know, this kid right here is Logan Yoon, pictured right here with Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe. He trains. I live in Dania, and he trains in Hollywood, which is the neighboring city of Dania, at the Heavyweight Factory. And this kid's really good, man. Had a good amateur career. Had over 100 amateur fights. He beat Ryan Garcia in the amateurs, and he's coming off a win against Juan Carlos Salgado, who beat Jorge Linares in 2009. He shut him out for 10 rounds, and he's gonna be fighting at the Hard Rock on the undercard of J.D. Martinez versus Carol Calderon, which will be a good hometown fight. So this is not going to be on TV, but I'm going to be covering it there this weekend. So for those of you guys who like seeing me interview fighters and things like that, expect some interviews. Hopefully I see this guy here and this guy here, and I'll definitely talk to Holyfield and Bowe as usual. And I'll try to – I want to get Holyfield's take on Wilder, because he was trying to tell me on camera that Wilder's going to destroy – not destroy, but he's going to beat Anthony Joshua. So I'd love to talk to him about that on camera. But yeah, so Logan Yoon will be returning to bout. We'll be fighting him for the second time this year at the Hard Rock here in Hollywood, Florida. There's that. Jarrell Miller is still in talks to fight Pulev, so that's good to hear. You know, I hope that comes through. Wow. Maurice Hooker versus Alex Saucedo, still on pace for the fall. So Alex Saucedo had that exciting fight with Lenny Z on the undercard of Gilberto Ramirez this past weekend, and that was a fight of the year fight. And Maurice Hooker had a good fight in his own right against Terry Flanagan, which I believe was a really fun fight to watch. And that looks to be a fight that they're looking at. They're saying that man, so they're looking at this fight happening. Oh, so apparently Saucedo is actually in line to face Hooker. Wow. So not sure what that really means in terms of the you know, like as far as the prestige of that fight. You know, the prestige probably isn't that high because those guys or whatever. But the fight itself probably be exciting because Hooker was exciting as hell his last fight, and then Saucedo comes to fight. So I mean, I ain't against that. My dad asked me, he said, what are your predictions in the World Boxing Super Series? I'll say this, man. For the current World Boxing Super Series, I'm going to go with, in the finals, for Callum Smith and George Groves. I'm gonna go with George Groves via stoppage. I'm going to go Alexander Usyk via unanimous decision. So so I got Usyk and Groves winning the finals of the first season of the World Boxing Super Series, and then for the second season, you know, for the 2 weight classes they announced, I'm gonna pick a Naoya Inoue to win the 118-pound tournament and become the undisputed champion at bantamweight, and for the 140-pound tournament, I'm gonna go with Josh Taylor to win that whole tournament because I'm high on Josh Taylor, but I wouldn't be surprised if Prograis won it. Either Prograis is really good. This man said that the problem is that Baby doesn't want to travel. He's too busy eating cheeseburgers. I mean, that could be it, man. We know Joel loves cheeseburgers. So that's really the boxing news. Let's go to Reddit. There's good stuff on Reddit sometimes. Let's see if there's anything new on Reddit. Apparently, Eric Morales is now in the Mexican House of Representatives. So that's pretty interesting. Another boxer here in Congress. What else is there? Another boxing robbery on ESPN. Now let's see what's this about. Another boxing robbery on Golden Boy ESPN tonight. So this is on Reddit. Let's see what it says here on Reddit. It says, now this may have not been a high level fight or anything, but this doesn't make it any less disgusting. Tonight on Golden Boy on ESPN card, the co-main event was a total robbery. All the judges scoring it a unanimous decision victory for the hometown boy. He beat an upcoming prospect in Eduardo Nunez, who was 10-0 with 10 KOs. The whole fight, Nunez was landing these hard, thumping shots, both to the body and to the head. He wobbled Gallardo, might be the incorrect spelling there in the fourth, I believe, and then the bell rang. The bell rang, saving Gallardo. Nunez did get a point taken away for low blows, but the round, he got deducted by But the round he got deducted, he arguably won. Total punches of the fight: Nunes 172, Gallardo 89. The announcers were dead set that Nunes had won, but were giving praise to Gallardo due to his toughness of bringing Nunes to the distance for the first time. But they didn't think he had won. Neither did I, and the commentators were just as shocked as me, as I was. They expressed that when they said I had the UD the other way for Nunes. I don't know how else you could see it. Low level fight, yes, but no one deserves to be robbed like that, especially when Nunes was giving it his all to impress. Oscar De La Hoya sitting ringside. In my opinion, he did a great job. Just got shit on by the judges. Nunes landed cleaner, harder shots all fight, and it was very obvious. That's interesting. So apparently we have another Golden Boy robbery here. Let's see. They got a link here. Let's click on it and see what this is about. Let's see what this is about here. So this is the actual fight. We're just gonna I don't even know if I'm legally allowed to do this because you know what, we won't do it because I don't want to get any copyright strikes from Golden Boy or TSN, but we'll look into that. We'll definitely look into that. Bilal Hussein said Whyte versus Big Baby would blow up New York. That would be a massive fight for New York. That's definitely a fight that I could see being big in the city, just because, you know, both those guys have boisterous personalities. Both those guys come to fight. Both those guys probably wouldn't like each other. So I mean, I ain't against that at all. If that's a fight that Eddie Hearn wants to do in New York City, I say you do it. You know. Let's see. Hold on, guys. I'm typing up some ideas for a future video here because I just got an idea. What's the guy's name? Nunes. Eduardo Nunes. Robs. Golden Boy Robs. Eduardo Nunes. Let's see. Eduardo Nunes. Eduardo Nunes. So we're gonna have a video on this later on. How Golden Boy robbed this guy. We're not gonna allow it just because it wasn't a big fight. We're not gonna allow that to go unpunished. I'll watch this fight too to get an opinion for myself. But if what they're saying here in this post is true, we'll definitely look into it. Greg Crespo asks, who were the judges for that robbery? I honestly don't even know who the judges were for that robbery. So I'm gonna look that up now. Actually, let's see. Look it up. Eduardo Nunes. Nunez, box. We're gonna get to the bottom. We'll find out who the judges are, Ruben. My dad said, "I'd love to see Jacobs versus Twin Charlotte. Why can't this happen? Jacobs call him out. If it does happen, it's gonna happen on the zone. I think it'll happen in time. It's a fight for the future."
Right. I know this is random, but it's like game-changing news.
Is it about the Hornets?
It's Golden State Warriors.
Okay. But how? Yo, it's crazy. Okay, so I know we're a boxing channel, but I had to. It's too out of the ordinary. That's a big ass news.
If it was the Lakers, I wouldn't have interrupted.
Yo, so for anybody who follows basketball, who may be here right now, apparently the Golden State Warriors just signed DeMarcus Cousins, which is a pretty big curveball because, you know, they were talking about Lakers signing DeMarcus Cousins. That's pretty damn big. So I mean, the rich get richer. The rich get richer. So you're gonna have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant. Oh my God, that's an all-star team,
bro. They just slapped LeBron James, bro.
They just bitch slapped LeBron straight up.
They said, "No, you ain't getting nothing."
I'm not. Hey, I'm actually not. It happened. My friend, my boy Paul, who's following basketball, he just showed me the tweets from Wojnarowski.
Oh, some Shams.
From Shams, that one Shams guy who does all the NBA news. It happened. It's a freaking all-star team. Yo, but at the late, man, NBA is gonna be crazy this year. I'm just hoping my Hornets do something before the season starts. So relevant. But anyway, man, Damn. You know, and you know what? Well, I think we talked about pretty much everything in boxing. I'm gonna get into this Eduardo Nunez thing. See who the judges are. Let's see, judges. Hiram Gallardo event. Oh, for Ruben, to answer your question, the judges for the Gallardo fight with Eduardo Nunez, the one that had a robbery, judges were Juan Sanchez, Jose Luis Morelos, and Jose Luis Bustame. So that's not the usual suspects of like Adeline Bird or anybody like that. But we'll have to look in more into these guys. These guys seem to be Mexican judges, so you know it'll require some diligent research on my end. Yeah, these are all domestic Mexican judges, from what I can see here. So this means that they were on Golden Boy payroll if the guy actually did get robbed. That means so. Golden State gave LeBron JaVale, and that's some the Warriors are savage, bro. So they basically said, "Here's JaVale McGee. We'll take DeMarcus Cousins." That's what that man. I remember when I was covering the NBA on here a couple years ago. I remember I made a video because the back in 2016, or like early 2016, just before just not too long after the Warriors won that first championship with Steph Curry. There are people had said that the general manager said that we're light years ahead of everybody, and I was like, well, why is he so confident? So now I can see why I'm so confident, man, because they find ways to continue to get better every year. It's crazy. And I mean, look at Steph Curry, man. Steph Curry in this time at Golden State has attracted Kevin Durant and now DeMarcus Cousins to come play with him. All this started with Steph Curry, man. Dude. I always say Steph Curry is the best player in the NBA, not because he's better than everybody, but he can get guys who are better than him to come play with him. And he did with Kevin Durant, and now he's got another All-Star in DeMarcus Cousins. And the Warriors front office does their job, so shout out to that. I think we pretty much hashed out everything in boxing. If you guys have any boxing questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. But if y'all want to talk some basketball or some soccer, I ain't against that either right now, because I mean I ain't against spicing it up. So any World Cup / Premier League / NBA questions you guys may have, drop them in the comments. I'll talk basketball, friggin' basketball, soccer for a couple 10, 20 minutes.
Bro, this is gonna be there's no one who can beat that team, bro.
If they don't win the finals this year, I swear.
How many games are they gonna lose? Period.
5. Iron Kong says, I can't even hate on Golden State. They do it better over there. Eastern Conference owners and GMs are trash. You're damn right they're trash. I mean, I'm a Hornets fan, so I know all about trash owners and GMs.
That's official.
Okay. So, yeah, it's official. For those of you who are basketball fans, DeMarcus Cousins is going to the Golden State Warriors. SJS 1690 says Belgium will win the World Cup. They were one of my 2 picks, man. I had Spain. I had Spain and Belgium. One of those 2 teams won the World Cup. Spain obviously lost to Russia. So now Belgium, they scored a very, very great win against Japan today. They had some adversity. They scored 3 goals in 20 minutes, whatever it was, and fair play to them, man. They got world-class players all over the pitch. Lukaku, Hazard, Courtois, Vincent Kompany, just everywhere. And Fellaini, well, he's not world-class, but he's a good player. They have a very good team, man, and talent for talent, they can compete with any team in the world, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do. So they got Brazil next, and that's going to be the ultimate litmus test for them. But I'm going for England. I want England to win the World Cup because I'm a massive Harry Kane fan. Harry Kane is to me, and this is my opinion, I think Harry Kane is the best striker in the entire world. I think the load he carries to Tottenham and the way and the manner in which he does it is amazing. I think obviously there's still another level he can get to, but I think for me he's the best goal scorer in the world. And if he had a little bit more around him, you'd see even more parts of his game get unlocked. But I'm going for England because they got Harry Kane and they got my man Jordan Pickford. Got to support the Everton boys. So hopefully England can win tomorrow against Colombia. Belgium has the best squad on paper by value. Only problem is they speak 2 different languages, perhaps causes chemistry issues. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, there seemed to be a bit of confusion a couple times in the World Cup. But, I mean, talent-wise, I mean, if you just take the 3 best players, I mean, you're talking Hazard, you're talking Lukaku, you're talking Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, Hazard and De Bruyne are easily just top, you could argue, top 10 midfielders in the world. De Bruyne, I'd even say sometimes, for Man City, he looked like the best midfield player in the world at times for Manchester City. And then Hazard himself has had his flashes of brilliance where he's looked like one of the best attacking midfielders in the world. And Lukaku, obviously with him being at Everton, I know all about how great he was. So he nailed it in the last one. He was ahead of Harry Kane. He could have won the Golden Boot. So Lukaku, world-class striker himself. Courtois is a world-class goalie. Compagnie is a world-class center back. Toby Alderweireld is a world-class center back. They just all on the pitch, they got talent, man. They just dripping with talent and class on the pitch. So Belgium's very good, man. I like Belgium. It's unfortunate that America didn't get into the World Cup. Do we have any Premier League fans in here? Like anybody who follows the Premier League? Like we ain't even talking boxing anymore. We talking freaking other sports for a couple minutes. Obviously, for any of you who watch my videos, anytime I talk about Tony Bellew or I'm wearing an Everton jersey, I don't fail to mention Everton. Massive Everton supporter. I think we're gonna have a good season this year. I see us finishing 6th this year. I think we're gonna finish 6th. SJS1690 says, "Yeah, completely agree, man. It's odd to see an American so knowledgeable in football, soccer. No offense." LOL. I understand. America, like, we have, believe it or not, we have. I would say, if America were to get the infrastructure of soccer right in this country, we could easily put together one of the best teams in the world. I just think, like, with the way the sport is ran here, it's not really conducive to putting together a really good national team. The MLS is growing. As for me knowing about soccer, I've only really been following it for. We're coming up on 2 years now. I've been following it hard for almost 2 years now, consistently. And once you actually kind of have a team to support, and Everton became that team for me about 2 years ago. You kind of begin to follow it more, and then I started watching Everton. Only watched Everton, then I started watching Champions League. Then from the Champions League, even when I didn't support Everton, I always watched the World Cup. And growing up, I played the sport. I used to always go out, when I was in high school. There's a soccer field not too far from where I live, and we used to go there every Friday and play. So I've always had love for the sport, but now I would say the love for it is a lot deeper. And then the crazy thing is, like, it's grown a lot here in the States over the last 10 years, believe it or not. And then following soccer has actually allowed me to understand a lot of UK boxing culture because of just how much they're intertwined over there in the UK. So it's actually helped me with boxing as well. But I appreciate the compliment. I really, really do. SJS1690, do you follow the Premier League, and do you support anybody? Like, what team do you support? If you do support any teams, because that's one thing I like to ask people that like follow the sport. Like, what team do you support? Most people here in America, most people in America, as far as soccer goes, you usually see fans of Real Madrid, Barcelona. You run into the occasional PSG fan. Arsenal, definitely. Arsenal is one of the most popular teams here because of Thierry Henry. Arsenal, Manchester United, and you get some Juve fans every now and then. AC Milan is popular here. And yeah, really it. Everton is not really as popular as the other Premier League teams here. They're popular, but not as popular as the other ones. Adrian says, my cousin played in the English Premier League. Who was your cousin, Adrian? Who's your cousin? I may or may not know who that is. Do any of you follow baseball? Baseball or NFL? Well, let us talk Stephen Ireland was his name. I never heard of him, but if he played in the Premier League, you know, he had to have been quality. Oh, he's on Stoke City. Stoke City, okay. Oh, you sport. I know about the Rangers. Yeah, the Rangers playing the Scottish Premiership. They were you guys like the second biggest club in the Scottish Premiership. I know that Celtic FC, from what I can see at least, I could be wrong, but Celtic FC is the biggest club in Scotland, and they dominate that league. They won it like 10 times in a row or something like that. And then you say Chelsea is your favorite English Premier League team, which is funny because one of my roommates is a Chelsea fan, and then one of my little brothers is a Chelsea fan, and then another friend of mine that goes to church is a Chelsea fan. So Chelsea's pretty popular here. One of my other best friends is an Arsenal fan, and then my other roommate's an Arsenal fan, and then you said United. So pretty impartial when it comes to EPL, but follow it. Yeah, the Scottish Premiership is trash. Sorry, I mean, no offense, but Scottish Premiership is absolutely trash. I mean, it's a 2-team league. I mean, I always get mad at La Liga because La Liga is one-sided, but at least like with La Liga, like the teams that aren't Real Madrid or Barcelona are still quality. Like when you look at La Liga, like Seville and Atletico Madrid and Valencia, like those are still quality teams if they play everybody else. But not in comparison to Madrid and Barcelona because they don't have the money to compete with those guys. But like those teams always wind up winning like the Europa League or a tournament like that. So yeah, but you don't see that in the Scottish Premier League. It's literally the Celtics and Rangers. My dad said, "Is it true that the Texans gave Kaepernick a chance?" I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. I've heard literally nothing about that. Ireland was Man City Player of the Season his first season. He was on fire back then, before the money came in, but he never really liked football too much. His dad got him into it. Okay, well, then he must have been a player that I didn't like because even though I know about like what goes on now in the Premier League and in soccer, like I'm still kind of new to it in the sense that I don't know the history or anything, so I never heard of him. But I do know that there was a period in Manchester City's history where they got all that oil money and then allowed them to become the big club that they are now. So he must have been a pretty good player if he was player of the season. So I'll look into him. Adrian said that I'm a Gooner. So you're an Arsenal fan. It seems like everybody I meet, whether it be like here in the really here in the States, because I live here, like everybody here in the States is like either an Arsenal, Chelsea, or United fan. Those are the 3 most popular teams here, and those are all big clubs, really. What do you think about Arsenal's? What do you guys think about like the Arsenal hiring Unai Emery as manager? He's a good manager. I know he managed PSG. I think he managed Seville when they won the Europa League titles. And then Arsenal signed a couple players, but I don't really know about them too much. Well, we going way out topic here. It's crazy, but that's what you get here on True Schools. But we talk about everything. We talk about boxing. Let's see. It's hard to say how he will do. I expect 1 to 2 seasons more of the same before it gets better. Yeah, like the way I view Arsenal, Adrian, even though I really can't talk because Everton's not really that good right now. Of the quote unquote big 6, which I think is very disrespectful because Everton is the 4th most successful club in the history of English football. But Sky Sports and the Premier League people they always refer to the big 6, and I think they mean in terms of money. But those are the teams like Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, Manchester United, Man City, and Liverpool. The big 6. I think of the big 6 clubs, the team that Everton is closest to is Arsenal. I think Arsenal is to me. I view them as the weakest of the big 6 because just like there's been a lot of instability there. They had the whole thing with Wenger, and I'm interested to see how Unai Emery. I know he's managed in France, he's managed in Spain. I'm interested to see how he brings his experiences with PSG and Seville to Arsenal, and how he uses Lacazette and Aubameyang and just the players they have there. Ozil, how much can he get out of Ozil? Because Ozil seems to be a guy that is very disinterested at times. So, you know, I'm interested to see how Arsenal develops, man, because I keep close eye on them all the time because I have two friends that are massive Arsenal fans, and as an Everton supporter, you know, I want Everton to push on and get into that top six. And I think if we are going to get into that top six, the team we're going to have to pass is Arsenal because they're the weakest of the top six. My dad says, "Can you say Everton?" I can't say Everton. That's the best club in the world. I don't give a damn. He said also that 19-year-old from France is no joke. And I think you're referring to Kylian Mbappe, who plays for PSG. That dude is one of the best players. Like, he's one of the best players in the world. Forget young players. He's one of the best players in the world. Top 15 player, no doubt about it, in the entire world. Just the things he can do with the ball, the creativity he has. I enjoy watching Mbappe play, man. He's a fantastic player. Ruben Crespo says, Iceman versus Ortiz 3, fight made by Oscar De La Hoya. Iceman, who are you talking about? You talking about Victor Postal? Who are you talking about? Ortiz, Oscar De La Hoya. What are you talking about? What fight are you talking about, Ruben, that got made? Luis Ortiz, there's Luis Ortiz, Victor Ortiz, who? Adrian says, Rooney's first English Premier goal against Arsenal. I will always remember that. Yeah, I was like 6 years old when that, or 7 years old when he scored that goal, and I wasn't really following Everton back then. But I mean, I see the clips of it, like on YouTube all the time, and I can only imagine how special of a moment that must have been when he actually, like, watching that live. That was a great goal. Like, they gave up. It was a out ball. They kicked an out ball towards the Arsenal side of the pitch. Rooney caught the ball with his right foot. He controlled it instantly. Took 2 touches, probably about like 30 yards from the box, and he just stuck it in the top left-hand corner of the net. And it was just a world-class goal, and he sprinted to the Gladys Street end, and a star was born. Wayne Rooney was there, and the rest is history. He became one of the most successful English footballers in the history of the sport. So, shout out to Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's went to DC United. He's in America now, so I'll probably be keep my eye on the MLS a little more now these days, because I want to see how Rooney does at DC United. Oh, okay. Oscar's getting into MMA. That's cool. So you're talking about Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell. Wow, that's pretty cool. I can't lie. That's pretty cool. Shout out to Oscar De La Hoya. He's doing big things. Adrian says, I went to Highbury maybe 200 times, only been to Emirates twice. Is there a reason for that? Are tickets like more expensive at the Emirates Stadium more than they were at Highbury? I'm from America. I grew up here in South Florida. So the only league we have here is the MLS, which is a lot better now than it was when I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, the MLS was like, I don't want to say it was a joke, but it was not a joke, but it was lagging a lot behind the other leagues. I mean, I remember if you go watch old school highlights of MLS, there's highlights of like them playing soccer on the football fields. You can really see like the 50-yard line, the 20-yard line, all that stuff. And then now it's growing a lot. There's more teams, there's more stadiums. In South Florida, we had the Miami Fusion. We had the Miami Fusion for like 3 years in the MLS, and then they folded. So I didn't get a chance to really enjoy that because I just didn't. But David Beckham's getting a team here, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes, and I'll be supporting them whenever that happens. Wherever the hell they decide to name them, I'll be supporting the MLS Miami team. But my dream, one of my like top 5 things on my bucket list to do in my life these next couple of years is to go to Goodison Park. I want to go to Goodison Park. I want to walk up those legendary steps, and I want to go to the middle of the field. I want to kiss that big green pitch. That's at Goodison Park, man. That's like a dream of mine, and I want to do it wearing a royal blue shirt. So hopefully that gets to happen one of these days. But Adrian said, I used to be a massive fan and used to live in Arsenal. My neighbor had a season ticket and never used to go. So me and his son used to go to every single home game. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. I wish that happened for me for a sports team. Ruben Crespo said the Red Bull. Talking about the soccer team, the New York Red Bulls, or are you referring to the MMA fighters? Ruben. Yeah, man, it's been fun. Man. We made it for 2 hours already. We're just talking up a storm. Are you guys enjoying these hangouts? Hey, you know what? I have a question. How many? There's like what? There's 7 of you in here. So of the 7 of you in here, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Are any of you guys interested in, I actually recently made it. I made and I actually had to buy it because I made it on a certain website, but I made a new True School Sports logo that I'm going to be putting on t-shirts and all kinds of merchandise soon. Would any of the 7 of you be interested in seeing the new True School Sports logo? Say yes or no in the comments. The New York Red Bulls. Yeah, shout out to the New York Red Bulls, man. Like, Red Bulls been around for a while. I remember when they had Thierry Henry and Tim Cahill on the same team. That was pretty dope. Now they have 2 teams in New York. They have the New York Red Bulls and they have NYFC. They play. NYFC plays at Yankee Stadium. Sean Ramsey says yes. Okay, so we got 1 yes, we got 2 yes, 3 yeses. Okay, Adrian says yes. We got 3 yeses so far. I need at least 1 more yes. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's dope, but I want to know what you guys think. Like, and if you notice too, like in my thumbnails where I put the letters with the colors, it used to just be like red letters. I don't know if you guys caught on to this, but when I used to make my little thumbnails where I put the letters in the video, it used to just be red letters. But now, if you guys notice, I put it into blue letters, and there's a reason for that because I made a new logo, and the logo is going to be in blue. And the blue is royal blue because it's a tribute to Everton Football Club. So the logo, the color for it was actually inspired by Everton Football Club. So I want you guys to know that. So I'm going to show you guys. It should be right here. So hold on. Go on. Crap. Let me see something. I'll show you guys in like 5 minutes. Give me 1 second. I gotta test one thing out before I show it to you guys. Yeah, no, like I know I've been talking about it for a while, but I'm finally, believe it or not, Ruben, I'm finally gonna be doing it. We're gonna be getting True School Sports T-shirts, so we're gonna get T-shirts, stickers, all that stuff. We're going all out. Know what I'm saying? Let's see. Have this. Okay, so hold on. Let me go to my Gmail. I'm gonna go to my Gmail real quick. Hold on. Okay, so go to my mail. Hold on, not here. Here we go. Here. Hold on. I'm not talking. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm just trying to. I'm gonna get the file ready so you guys can see it. I want the people who are here. You guys get the first look at the logo. So we'll give you the first look. You guys can tell me if you think it's dope. So it was inspired by 2 things. The logo is the color of the logo. The color of the font was inspired by Everton Football Club because it's in royal blue, and then the actual logo itself, not the font, but the logo itself is more. It has kind of like a video game vibe to it. So you guys will get the gist of what I'm talking about once I actually get a chance to show you. Hold on. Click on the zip folder. Open the zip folder. Hold on. Trying to open the damn thing up. Let's see. Files. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Ruben. If you get the stickers, you're gonna put them all over the subways in New York. I ain't mad at that. By all means, it's marketing. Adrian said, "I'm here a lot, but mainly lurking in the background listening. I like your channel because you're unbiased." Well, thank you, man. I try to be unbiased. You know, I don't always succeed at that, but you know, I try. There. High resolution files. So these are the hold on. We're gonna go to original on Whyte. Yeah, select. Open. So this is it. Hold on. There it is. Boom. There it is. Give me your take. What do you guys think? That's the logo. For the like 7 of you that are in here, give me your take. Yay or nay? I think it's dope. I'm gonna rock with it. So, what you guys think? It's got like that Mike Tyson Punch Out video game feel to it, like with the little people punching each other, and then it has actual True School Sports in a certain font and royal blue, which is the Everton color, which I think are dope colors. So, what do you think? Sean likes it. Sean says yay. Sean says pretty cool. My girlfriend liked it, so that was a yes, and my dad said simple and to the point. Yep. So Ruben, the stickers you'll be using or would be of that. Sean said I would maybe change the font style. Ruben said dope. SJS1690 said nice. So pretty much all positive reviews. If you think it's trash, let me know. But I like it. I think I like it, and I'm rocking with it. I'm probably gonna stick with it. So we'll be getting the shirts made pretty soon, and hopefully when I make a video soon, you guys see me rocking one. We gotta spread the message of True School Sports to the people, and the best way to do that is through merch. So we're gonna do that, and boy, BT's gotta pay his bills, so we're gonna pay my bills too. But yeah, that's it. So you got the little sneak peek. Anybody else that's here can give the feedback. It's there. That's what it is. Drop a comment down below. I'll probably change the channel cover art and logo soon as well. So you'll be seeing that. So if you see that, don't freak out. It's not a new channel or anything like that. Still the same BT. Still True School Sports. Like that's it in a nutshell. Sean Ramjur said, "Has IFL TV ever reached out to you to do collab work?" You know what, Sean? IFL TV has never reached out to me to do any sort of collab work or anything of that nature. I would definitely say, well, Adrian, hold on. I'll be back to your question, Sean. Adrian, yeah, there actually is a frame around it, but what I was showing you was actually just a high resolution file. The other file, I had that other files in the other files that are different. It actually is a square. But Sean, yeah, no, IFL TV has never reached out to me for anything like that. I met Coogan Cassius one time in July of last year. It was all love when I saw him. Like Coogan, you know, he clapped me up and he said thank you for making that video about Klitschko, the Klitschko fight, because you know if you guys remember, Klitschko's manager had gotten Coogan banned from covering the Klitschko Joshua fight. So Coogan Cassius, who was the guy that played a massive role in helping a lot of these British boxing stars become as big as they are with his interviews on IFL TV, didn't even cover the Klitschko Joshua fight, which was arguably one of the biggest fights in British boxing history. And it was it. BT, are you able to change their shorts to colors? I might be able to. I don't know. I kind of already bought it. I don't know if you can edit it after you buy it, but maybe. Well, I'll have to experiment later on. But I'll say this, Sean. What I'll say is this, Sean. If IFL TV ever did approach me to collab, I would do it in a heartbeat. IFL is a massive platform. IFL is a platform that I actually respect, that I frequent a lot. I watch the interviews pretty much like every day. But it's not something I'm really looking to do. I have people in mind that I want to collab with. that I know and that are friends and that work for prominent media outlets, and it's really only 2 people. Sean Ramser says, have you ever met Radio Raheem from Seconds Out and Michelle Joy Phelps? Well, I'll tell you a story. You know, we're here. There's not a lot of people here right now, so I'll tell you guys a story. So Radio Raheem, I actually met Radio Raheem, and I actually know Radio Raheem pretty well. So I'll tell you guys this. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sean Zattel, the boxing voice, or he formerly the boxing voice. He's on Fight Hype now, but he does a lot of interviews. He's been on the boxing voice, he's been on Fight Hype. Sean Zattel is a really good friend of mine, and sometimes I stay with him in Las Vegas when I'm there. Let's stay at his place. And there was actually an instant where me and Radio Raheem were in the same house because he actually stayed with Sean Zattel. So we were all in the same house. I didn't really talk to Radio Raheem when we were in the same house, but later on down the line, there was an opportunity that came up last November where I was able to help Radio Raheem. I just held the camera for him for some interviews, and we were supposed to work together. And then he actually wanted me to work like kind of for him, and I kind of let my ego get in the way, and then that didn't work out. And I learned some valuable lessons in boxing that week. And me and Radio Raheem are cool to this day. We're cool. I texted him a couple months ago, and we squashed everything. We had some problems. We squashed everything. And I hope to see him in the future. Work with him. As for Michelle Phelps, I've never personally met Michelle Phelps. I've seen her in person, but I've never met her. Like, I never formally introduced myself. But what's funny is you may be like I don't know if you've ever seen. I actually have a drop, like an intro, where she says like, "Hey, this is Michelle Phelps, and you're watching True School Sports." It was my boy Sean Zattel who got me that intro. So she's never met me, but she knows. She said my channel's name, so that's something to consider. But yeah, Ruben, I'm not really sure if I could do that. But I mean, I like the logo as it is. I'm not gonna lie, I like the logo as it is. But I'll definitely try to work on that if I can. I want to stay on here for like a good 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna get off. The Texan said, "Are you from Florida?" Well, I'm based in Florida. I grew up in Florida. Most of the majority of my life, but I'm not from Florida. Actually, I'm actually from North Carolina. I was born near Charlotte. We lived there. We lived close to there, and we lived there for a little bit in the early stages of my life. And then I relocated to Florida when I was pretty young, so I lived in Florida for like at least 85 to 90% of my life. But if you ask me, if you say, "Brendan, where are you from?" I'll say, "Yeah, I'm from Florida. I'm from Dillian." Even though I wasn't born here, I grew up here. My character was shaped here. I'm a South Florida guy. The Texan says, I see. Have you seen Keith Thurman around? Well, me and Keith Thurman are in different parts of Florida. Florida's a very big state. It's one of the biggest states in all of America. I live in South Florida, so I live closer to Miami. And Keith Thurman lives in Western Florida, which is like Tampa Bay, which is like 3 hours away. So I haven't seen Keith Thurman around. I don't really go to his area too often. Ruben Crespo said, I'm going to the Madison Square Garden to the WWE show on Saturday night. I love wrestling like I love boxing. You know, it's funny, Ruben, before I liked any sports, wrestling was like my favorite thing. Like, I love wrestling, bro. Like, I could talk to you about wrestlers from the 90s and the 2000s, like No Tomorrow, like Rob Van Dam, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Ric Flair, Razor Ramon, Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, D'Lo Brown, Viscera. Like, I was a massive wrestling fan. Most people don't know that, though, but I was a massive wrestling fan growing up as a kid. Like, it's only people who like really know me that know that I really like thoroughly enjoyed wrestling as a kid. Sean Ramsher said, "Do you still link with Shannon Briggs?" Shannon, like, I used to always see Shannon at the Heavyweight Factory. I haven't seen him there recently because he doesn't train there. He doesn't train there anymore, and he's kind of been traveling, and he's here and he's there. So I actually haven't seen Shannon Briggs since November of 2016. But I'm sure whenever I do see him again, it'll be all love, and he'd be happy to do an interview with True School Sports because he's a big fan of the channel. And yeah, it's all love. But no, to answer your question directly, no, I don't really link with him often anymore. But I see his son around. Like I saw his son. I saw his son, who I'm cool with. I saw his son 3 months ago, like around town. Who did you train with? Who did you train with, Ruben? SJS1690 says, I hate to darken the chat with AJ Wilder, but what are your thoughts on Wilder's explanation for not signing? I'm torn, to be frank. The B-side shouldn't get a rematch if he loses. The referee should be someone both camps agree on. Are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me that that's who? Those are the reasons he didn't sign the fight? Are those the reasons? Did he disclose that? Because I didn't see anything about that. Ruben Crespo said the unpredictable Johnny Rods. That's pretty cool. I feel like I'm not really familiar. It's not ringing a bell, but I feel like I've heard the name before. Oh yeah, but to further expand on your Radio Raheem question, Sean, I would love to collaborate and do some stuff with Radio Raheem on my channel. I'd love to just like get a video where I'm sitting next to him, or we talk boxing, or I interview him or something like that. I'm big fan of Radio Raheem. To be honest with you, I would say of all the boxing media members, if there was one person I would say that I try to somewhat take things from and be sort of like, is Radio Raheem. I'd really say that because I think he's the best interviewer out there. That's my opinion. Of the boxing channels, he's the best interviewer out there. His excuse was no rematch and controlled officials. So yeah. Honestly, I'll say this: I give Wilder a lot of crap, but I think those are valid reasons to not want to fight Joshua. So they're gonna have to come to a place where they meet in the middle. Honestly, I don't see why Joshua and Hearn wouldn't want a rematch clause, because the fight's gonna make so much money, and if they lose, they're gonna want one anyway. So if that's the case, then Wilder's, I think Wilder's has a point there. And as far as controlled officials, I can see how that could definitely be a case, a point of concern, because, I mean, personally, my personal opinion, I thought the referee for the Parker fight was controlled because, I mean, there was so much BS. Like Parker couldn't in-fight. Parker couldn't. There was an instant where Anthony Joshua had tape that was kind of hanging off his gloves. I remember one time he actually hit the tape off of his gloves and bought time. So it just seemed like, from my perspective, that they seem to have been more on Eddie Hearn's side. That's my opinion. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want a fair fight too. Like this is the biggest heavyweight fight of the social media era. So you better bet your ass they better get the damn referee right, because that can influence everything. I think there should be a rematch, because I think there should be a rematch here. I think there should be a match here in America as well. There should be one in America, and there should be one in the UK. All right, Ruben. Hey, Ruben, thank you for the super chat earlier. I really appreciate it. And overall, Ruben, I'll just say thank you for being a loyal subscriber. And hopefully soon we get you some stickers so you can plaster them all over New York City for me. But yeah, sleep well. Sean Ramsey said, "Are you going to attend the Joshua Povetkin fight?" Well, is that going to be if it's not in the States? I had no chance in hell of attending that fight. I can't afford to fly internationally and then pay for a hotel and then have money to live while I'm in another country. So there's no way in hell that's going to happen if it's in the UK. But if it's in New York City, then I would say I give it a 10% chance that I'm there. Adrian said, neither Joshua or Wilder want to lose the home advantage for the big fight. The fight should be in Nigeria. They both have roots there. That's funny. I ain't against that. That's some Don King stuff. Don King did stuff in like Zaire and all that stuff. So I ain't against it. This is something different. I'm going to the Whyte versus Parker fight. It will be a banger. You're gonna have yourself a lot of fun, man. The best fight I've ever been to in person was Roman Gonzalez, Carlos Cuadras. That was such an exciting fight. I mean, I'll never forget it. Magical night that was. But yeah, I think Wilder. I think it's the duty of both Wilder, Joshua, and all parties involved to make sure they get a referee that's not going to be partial toward anyone. They can't get a partial referee. It has to be a referee that's going to call down the middle. Man, you are a very lucky man, Adrian. That must have been quite the fight to be at. Describe to me, like, what was it like being there at AJ versus Klitschko? I mean, I was watching it through TV. I was watching it on the TV screen. I had me and a couple of my friends with me, and that was a modern day heavyweight classic. And that was a fight where I was literally screaming at the TV, and I could feel the electricity through the TV screen. So I can't even imagine what it was like to actually be there. That's a fair point. That's a fair point, SJS1690. Very fair point. I remember after the Wilder after the fight, Wilder leading in at right ring after the KO and fist pumped AJ. Didn't say a word to him. It's funny how that works, right? Like those small little moments that you don't think a lot about, but you remember that now, like because all this Wilder Joshua stuff was going on. I was at Wilder's fight. I actually went to the last boxing match I went to. Well, not the last boxing match, but the last boxing match I went to out of town was Wilder's Tavern 2, and I was there when Wilder was like, I know I'm the best. Are you up for the test? I was there when he did all that. And he stopped Tavern and made a meme out of Tavern. That fight right there, man. What I'll say about that fight was this: I don't know what it was like to watch Mike Tyson fight in his prime, like in person, but I feel like it would have had to have been something similar to what I felt the night Wilder fought Tavern in the second fight, because literally from the time he walked out, when he came out with 50 Cent playing Many Men and he had this mask on, you just felt the aura, you felt the swag, you felt that this guy, nothing was going to deter this guy, even though it was Tavern. You felt like this guy was the baddest man on the planet as he was walking in the ring. Even though I think Josh is better than him, I'm saying I actually felt that being in the arena. But yeah, the fight and the crowd were great. I'm sure, man. I mean, a big goal of mine very soon, man. It has to happen. And I'm going to bust my ass to build my channel up as much as I can so I can make this a reality. I'm dying to go to the UK for a fight. I want to go to a fight in the UK so bad. I dream. There's not a day that goes by where I don't dream about it. Like, I hope it happens. My bad, guys. I was shooting a text message. But yeah, it's 9:22. It's 9:22 Eastern Standard Time here on the East Coast. So I'm gonna be here for like 8 more minutes. I'm gonna get off at 9:30. But I really enjoyed this live chat, man. It's been fun. There's definitely been a lot of great boxing talk. To rehash what I said earlier, Pacquiao I think is gonna beat Matthysse via unanimous decision, and then I got Joseph Parker stopping Dillian Whyte in the 9th round. Should be two good fights coming up though. Some videos that I think you guys should be looking out for tomorrow. There's gonna be there's 3 videos dropping on AJ versus Wilder. So look out for 3 more AJ Wilder videos coming out tomorrow. One will be revisiting Parker's fight against Joshua's fight against Parker, and how Wilder can capitalize on just flaws on AJ's skill set. It's just notes that I took. It's going over the notes I took over rewatching the Parker fight and how Wilder can capitalize on things that Joshua does wrong. And then I did the same thing for Wilder in the Ortiz fight, how AJ can capitalize on him. And then you're gonna have a video coming out breaking down Lennox Lewis' recent comments on the Wilder Joshua fight. And then I'm also gonna be working on some videos. I got video coming out about a couple prospects. I'm gonna be doing a prospect video on Jaron Boots Ennis, who is a American prospect. And then I got one about Martin Bacoli, who you guys were bigging up last night on the Hangout. So that'll be a prospect video that I'll be doing. And then I'm going to be doing a video about Deontay Wilder ducking Charles Martin in the past, because somebody brought that up. So I'll be doing some research on that tonight. And I'll be doing a video on that soon, because someone brought that up. They said they wanted me to do a video on that. So I'll be researching to see if there's any claims, any legitimacy towards those claims, and then also this Golden Boy situation with Eduardo Nunez and robbing him on the recent Golden Boy card a couple days ago. So we're busy at work. We're pumping out that good boxing content for the fans and the support. I don't want to say fans, for my friends here on True School Sports. So we'll go back on camera. Yeah. So we're back in the flesh, looking handsome for the next 5 minutes. People bashing AJ with the Parker fight. I thought he fought well. To be honest, he boxed a lot better all around. Parker did nothing much. I mean, I thought Parker fought in Telltale's fight. You know, he was very reluctant to step in with his jab or open up like he normally does, and it made for a really boring fight. Movement was good. He was very elusive, but he just made it really hard to watch the fight. Yeah. See, if Wilder would have just came out and said what he said, I wouldn't have made all these videos bashing him, like the referee thing, because I would have actually agreed with him. I might just do that now. It's just because sometimes it's fun to troll the Wilder fanboy. So I'm gonna make a video and be like, I'm gonna make a video soon and just be like, True School Sports agrees with Deontay Wilder on Anthony Joshua fight, and they're gonna say, what? They're gonna click on it, and then it'll just be me talking about the whole situation. Parker needs to come in and throw a few bombs and get out fast. He got tied up too easy, and he was running away a lot. Yeah, in this fight with Whyte, he needs to make his presence felt early. You know, the thing is with him is like fighters a lot of times, I'm not gonna say most times, but a lot of times, fighters generally fight to the way of their personality, and by nature, Joseph Parker is a reserved. He's a calm guy. So the way he fights comes off as very tentative and passive, and you're a heavyweight. You're a dangerous 6'4" combination punching with heavyweight. Act like it, and sometimes you don't act like it, and it seems like he's just there, and he's just going through the motions. So hopefully for his sake, he switched on in this fight with Dillian Whyte, because he's gonna need it. He's really gonna need it. Joshua beat Parker similar to how Parker beat Huey. Yeah, I would agree with that. It was a boring fight, but he was able to make it ugly and nick some rounds here and there, and it was a good fight. It was a good win for him. The kind of performance he needed at this point in his career. It wasn't a flashy performance. It wasn't a good performance. It wasn't like a all-time great performance, but I will say it was a mature performance. It was a mature performance for Anthony Joshua. He showed patience and poise in that fight. The Texan says that's how he had a hard fight with Andy Ruiz. Yeah, he was reluctant to throw anything, and when he would, he just did it as a reaction. He wasn't being the one that was being the aggressor. He wasn't being the one that really stuck his flag in the ground, saying, "Hey, I'm the better fighter here, and you're in the wrong ring." Like he didn't really fight in that manner. So, yeah, that Ruiz fight, he was in a lot of trouble, man. A lot of trouble. If Ruiz can get a quality win on his resume soon, I'll like to see him get that rematch. First fight, I thought you could have given the decision, really, but Josh Parker edged that by the skin of his teeth. But Parker's made a living off that. He barely beat Taco, he barely beat Ruiz, and he barely beat what's his name, Huey Fury. So. It is what it is. Like, he's made a habit of just winning at the top level by the skin of his teeth. But if he really wants to beat those elite guys, like, he needs to really, really just stop being so damn passive. Because he's got talent. A lot of talent, actually. He's just an interesting guy. He's an interesting guy. I think a lot of it, too, probably comes down to training habits and how Kevin Berry goes about training him in the gym. But that's just my opinion. But, yeah. Anything else? Because I'm about to get off. I think Andy could beat some contenders, but it's tough to see him versus between Whyte or Miller at least. I would like to see him against Dillian Whyte or Jarrell Miller. I think, yeah, Jarrell Miller should fight Andy Ruiz. I think that'd be a good fight. Jarrell's a slick boxer. Not the hardest puncher in the world. Ruiz is probably, I would definitely say, the harder puncher than Jarrell. But Jarrell's a lot slicker, but Ruiz is a good counter puncher. So their styles mesh well. They're relatively similar in stature and size. Adrian says, I'm out to bed now. 2:30 a.m. here. Catch you next stream. Good one as usual. See you, folks. Hey, Adrian, good. Thank you for hanging out with us today and talking boxing and everything else in between. And get some sleep and do your thing over there in the UK. Huh. 2:29 a.m. here in the UK. Luckily, I'm off work for another 2.5 weeks. Okay, well, enjoy your holiday and enjoy your night of sleep. And I will definitely get off the stream now. But to everybody here, stay tuned for the just upcoming videos. True School Sports has an offer. I'll be this week for those of you that do know. There's gonna be videos coming out on Wilder Joshua. There'll be some prospect videos, and I'll be covering a local fight, Harold Calderon versus JD Martinez. So expect some interviews from there, some local fighters. We might even run into Evander Holyfield or other big name boxers. You just never know going into these fights. But stay tuned for that. That'll be later in the week. And as always, like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dillian. So until next time, take care, guys.